Bruh.
YouTube channel is monetized.
You didn't see my Gucci bag?
We're the designer drug that you need to get on. Why you didn't bring me one of those?
Us smaller people benefit so much.
When the little apples don't want to talk to the oranges, the bananas, the strawberries, it's like, bitch, why you don't want to play in the fruit basket with everybody else?
I was coding everything.
His production is shit.
What would it be on the podcast?
You are in its prison.
MAGA 2024.
How dare she do this to me?
I don't know what NSFW means.
Twonky bong, bangy bang, teen balati burp burp burp. After weeks and weeks and months, we finally have another award winner on the show. How important are awards?
I think they can be pretty important, depending on the award. I think it's great for us. It shows our hard work.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, it depends on where the award comes from.
That's.
And these awards come from the community.
Correct.
Where they all have to vote.
Correct.
And to get these awards means a lot.
It shows our customer base and how important we are to them, even with a smaller customer base. And we still get placed, and we still.
What do you think is better? An award or testimonial?
Testimonial. Absolutely.
Why would you think a testimonial is more important than an award? Because I'm on the opposite side, and I like that. I like the fact that you believe that that's better.
Because I think of the testimonial more as word of mouth. I get more business word of mouth than I do from people knowing I have an award.
We're going to get more into awards. But this is Candace, y'all. She does my cookies.
Lots of cookies, too.
And I can't wait till the end. I need her to show the cookies that she's got because she brought some today. And folks, if you're just listening to the audio version, go to YouTube and you got to look at them. And you got to look at us because, we're beautiful people, but these cookies make us look, shameful. So come on, Candace, let's look at these cookies.
Which one you want? Which one?
I don't care. Show the camera, show the audience. I
brought Easter cookies.
We'll also have a link to her page and everything like that throughout the show. The best thing you showed me earlier was them little freaking carrots.
A little carrot, and I got a little bunny. Dropping the bunnies.
These are mine, right?
Yeah, these are all yours.
Fucking right.
So you want the carrot right now?
I don't want a carrot right now. Look, everybody knows what these are. They're Among Us up in here.
My kids freaked out. They're probably going to be upset that I brought these for you, but
why?
Because they wanted them.
They can just say,
I'll make them some more.
What to say? They can just be like, Mom, make these for me for my birthday or something.
These are some of my favorites too, and I love this blue color.
Did you dust that with like gold dust or something?
Yeah, it has.
Hell yeah!
I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but it has like little gold speckles.
Yeah, it does. It catches the little reflection of them. Yeah, I gotta make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta make sure. Oh yeah, so that's program. It's okay. As long as that window that says program is showing you, I want it is.
Okay.
Because once again, y'all, I don't have anybody helping me in the studio, and maybe that's the reason why I'm not too stressed about the podcast anymore.
We got that.
Everybody notices I don't do the podcast every week. Not really until I can find somebody that helps out, that doesn't mind helping out. Part of a team. I can't pay you. No, I cannot pay you, but I can
pay you with cookies.
I
can make cookies.
Candace says she'll make cookies. So if you want to pay with cookies, then I'll just link you up with her, and then she'll just bill me for it, and we'll just go that way. But no, finding somebody before I start talking to Candace, I still am looking for somebody that will handle a switch during podcast days. It's not going to be every week. A person would know within a reasonable amount of time. Within a week, I would tell somebody, hey, I've got a guest. They're definitely coming. Meet here. But yeah, we had the last guy bail out, and I don't know what was wrong with him. He had all
especially
kinds of
somebody
issues.
looking for experience, and if you're a student or somebody looking for this type of experience, this is an industry you're wanting to get into. This will absolutely give them that experience.
Yeah, and I also know that I need to network with people. I'm horrible. I don't know how to reach out to people asking for help. I don't, especially if I know I can't pay you. Then I know I need to keep my mouth closed, and people are like, oh, well, no, you should ask. It's like, I don't want to do that. I don't like rejection. I've always been that way. It's easier for me to just do it myself than ask and get rejected. And then I get pissed. And I'm getting older. So what happens is I get more bitter. So like we were talking about earlier, people leaving you on read. You know, so that's like the new thing, being left on red. And it happens across the board on everything, professionally, personally. I mean, I don't understand why people are doing that. So we'll get off the kick. But yes, everybody, I'm still looking for somebody to help on the podcast. And you'll be more than welcome. I'll feed you. I'll get you water. You can have some alcohol. You can have
make
coffee.
Some rice and gravy.
Well, I don't really cook anymore. Shoot, I might poison somebody.
Oh my God.
No, I used to know how to cook really well, but now I just don't do it anymore. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm really hospitable. I'm nice. I mean,
he got a lot of cute puppies.
Yeah, you can
cute
the
Huskies.
Huskies. I mean, you can walk them. No, I'm asking too much now. I'm asking way too much now. So yeah, Candace is here, y'all, and I mean, I brag about her all the time. Y'all have heard about her. Y'all have seen videos of her cookies. Some of y'all probably get cookies from her. Candace, tell everybody how you know me.
I know you from my mother.
Miss Rebecca.
We she got her car. I don't even know when she got her Camaro.
She came in 2014.
That long ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
White Camaros. Does she still have that thing?
No, she just got rid of it. She cried.
How many miles did she put on that doggone thing?
I don't know.
Wait, does she even really go? Does she really go anywhere in it?
She would go to work. Yeah, she went all over in it. She loved it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's new grandbabies being added into the family. You know, I think this is going to be her 5th grandson. And she wanted something to where, you know, if the time arises, she can take more than 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And my boys loved riding with her in the Camaro. They loved it. But she wanted something upgraded, and she almost kept the Camaro too.
Oh, good
Lord. She knew it was time, but she had it. I think she had hers a year longer than I had my Charger. So 11, 12 years maybe.
Jeez, y'all some old cars.
I had the 2010. I think she got hers probably around the same time, because she got hers when Aiden was a baby. She got it to make sure the car seat would fit in the car, and it did. Yep.
She probably still would have got it if the car seat. She would have found a way to make the car seat fit.
Absolutely, she would have. Oh yeah, and you know, Aiden would ride around with her in the Camaro. He loved it. You know, first grandbaby.
Who won't? I mean, shoot. I remember she came. She didn't get a coating or anything like that. I was still testing coatings back then, and but she got it corrected. There's actually, I think, pictures of hers in the shop.
She still kind of brags about you posting pictures of her car.
I see her say she'll tag me every once in a while. I know she said something about she was going to contact me.
She does. She's just trying to figure out how she'll get around without a vehicle right now, because of what she does. She drives around to like courthouses and stuff right now.
Oh, well, it depends on what she has done though.
Yeah.
If she's just looking for something to be corrected, then that's.
I'm not too sure what she's wanting, but I think after what she saw with mine, she wants it to be well taken care of.
Yeah, you got that steroid injection on your clear coat. That's what you got. What do you think about that?
Oh my God. We cleaned it. What was it? A week ago? We haven't cleaned it recently because all the rain. But like about a week ago, I told Stefan, my husband, I was like, "Oh my God, let's wash the car." Never been more excited in my life to wash a car. I don't like washing cars. My thing was going through a car wash, but didn't learn until recently that doesn't do anything.
Well, it's not even that it doesn't do anything. It's the whole fact that it's a dirt transfer factory.
Correct.
Think of that, and it's not that I hate car washes or actually, no, I do, because it's doing nothing but damage to the car.
Well, it's true, because when I deep cleaned the Charger before we sold it, there were things that you don't see until you're hand scrubbing it that you're like, wait, it's not supposed to be like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is the car washers don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so when we started washing the RAV, I was like, dude, that was the fastest car wash, and it was so clean.
Mm-hmm.
We laughed because we took the car to Tennessee, and when we came back from the snow and the rain, just you could see how the water just like beads off the car. I sent you a message. I was like, oh my God, there's water beads. Everybody else's cars are dried, you know, when I had the Charger for sale in the yard, and I still had water beads on my car. But like Stefan said, you want to see that.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is so fun.
Well, and also just know that, so it's new. I call this still a honeymoon phase for you guys. Y'all are like, oh, this is great. But a new car should be that way.
It should.
And they're never that way now.
But see, I didn't know. And it wasn't until, I spoke to you, did research on everything, that when you look at a car in the sun and you see all those like circle lines and all
swirl marks.
I thought that's how it was supposed to be. I didn't know. I'm not a car person. My dad and brother would be ashamed because they're big car people and mechanics. And but I was like, I thought that's what the paint was supposed to do. Psych, joke's on me. I don't know anything. I
need to put some fresh swirls in.
I need some swirl. My car isn't swirly enough. But seeing the difference, and I'm like, joke's on you, Candace. And then getting it back, just like, so when I got the car, because the car dealership did offer. So that's an experience. I don't know if I spoke to you about that.
No, tell me about it. Do share.
The guy who sold us the car was amazing. I went to school with him. Very helpful. It's when they put us in the financial person's office. This is my first car I've ever bought.
That's where they start selling you all the options. And
yes.
Do you want this? Do you want this? Oh, the butler is what it's called.
Correct. So this is the thing. I've worked my ass off doing what I do. I bust my ass.
Making them fire-ass cookies.
And cakes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forget about her cakes all the time.
But it's true. I've worked so hard, so long to get here. And I was like, you know what? It is time. I want to purchase. Now, I've had vehicles. But I wanted to purchase my vehicle. My first vehicle. I was given a car at graduation. And then my husband got the Charger when we had our son. And that's what I drove. Never needed. I love my Charger. I didn't even need to get rid of it. But I went to upgrade. I have a bigger, booming business.
Girl, think of the space you were missing out on because you have to make these deliveries.
Well, and that's the thing, just putting stuff in the back now, it's just easier access. So, I'm so proud, get in my car. I did it. Yeah, I'm here. We get to the financial office, and he's looking at Stefan.
Oh, a complete disregard to the female, of course.
Then once he found out I baked, it was because Stefan was starting to get mad. He was very dismissive towards me. Oh, you bake? Oh, okay. Kind of like, that's where you should be, in the kitchen. But he didn't say that.
Hey, wait, let's stop. You notice how, who was it? It was Burger King or somebody said, all women need to be in the kitchen. I was like, okay, so I understand that they're trying to do equal opportunity, higher wages and all this other stuff. Did you see that though?
No, I didn't.
So somebody's campaign, we're going to get back to the finance thing, but somebody's, one of the fast food chains, I wish we could pull it up, but we're missing a person to operate Google and everything.
We'll pull it up on our phones.
But yeah, pull it up on your phone. Just look up, fast food chain that did it. It was about a week or two ago. But it just bluntly said.
Was it a joke?
I think they were being serious, but it was a marketing thing to support women that failed. Because it said, women belong in the kitchen. And that's all it said.
See, I probably would have laughed. Because I do find, ha 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 ha. Old school joke, like, women belong in the kitchen.
So I follow. So my podcast, of course, came to fruition because all I do is I watch podcasts,
right?
And all of my podcast people that I watch are all comedians, and one of them is a political. Well, no, it's Bill Maher. He's on HBO. He had Politically Incorrect and all this. I followed him ever since I probably could watch TV, but he also talked about it too. And they, on the panel, were talking about, it made sense.
Right.
They were trying to play off of what was going on at the time, which was equality for, both genders and stuff like that. But when you first see it, it's kind of like, that failed.
Now, could it be based off of, because one of my first jobs, I did work at McDonald's. Most of the line workers are men. When I worked at McDonald's, it was very seldom that you had few, but the women are mainly placed at the registers, the drive-through windows, and bagging the food. And I say that because I worked at McDonald's, I think, for 2 years, and it was one of the busiest locations. Also, it's a very good starting job. They do move you up, and they do really good pay.
Who's that again?
McDonald's.
McDonald's. Oh,
I know it sounds weird, but they really do. You can become a supervisor quick. Like you can move up and have a really good job with McDonald's, but not advertising for them. But a lot of the line workers and the kitchen staff,
they were all guys.
Were mainly men.
Now, do you believe? See, I believe that's strategically smart because
right.
Everybody that walks in, even women, they want to talk to somebody that's more softer.
And they do they get to know somebody. And even if it's a man, I have to say that if it was somebody who liked to speak to people, they did place them at registers or in the window.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just the whole fact that they put women in the front because it's more aesthetically pleasing, it's more inviting, and it's not as intimidating.
Right.
Because if you walk into a place, some people are intimidated, especially you put a tall, big guy.
Big dude.
They're really scared.
Right.
And they may walk out. I understand that. It does make sense to do it that way, but I think their joke flopped.
Yeah.
But I do find it funny too.
It's like,
but I can
understand.
Not
too good for business,
Possibly. But I think... I don't think the message got across.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Especially, no, now, no.
Everybody's, but everybody's overly sensitive too. At the same time, I think people don't understand what jokes are because everybody's on defense.
It's such a weird. At least I know for my generation, it's such a weird in between. I feel like we're always stuck in. We come from a time where there were really highly offensive jokes. Looking back, I'm like, oh,
Wait,
not saying I said that, but like looking back at things that were said on TV or just go back and watch like certain movies, and it's like,
child, I'm Gen X. We weren't offended.
I don't know what am I? Am I a millennial? I think I'm a millennial.
Wait, what year you were
90.
Born? Oh yeah, you are a millennial because I believe it's
80 something. I'll have to pull it up.
Pull it up and see. I'm curious
because I looked it up. Because a lot of people that people call boomers aren't even boomers.
I know my mom is a boomer.
Generation names.
Because I think Gen X stopped in 86.
Let me see. Boomer is 46 to 64.
Okay.
Gen X is 65 to 79.
Oh.
What year were you born?
Oh, 78. Oh, I'm Gen X all the way,
Gen
baby.
X.
I'm so laid back and I'm not going to argue with people.
Zennials?
That's the newest generation.
Zennials is 75 to 85.
Oh, that's weird.
Generation Y, which is the millennials, is 80 to 94.
So you are millennial.
Gen Z is 95 to 2012, and Gen Alpha is 13 to 25.
Ain't nothing alpha about these pansies.
I have a Gen Z child and an Alpha.
Good Lord.
Well,
back to the dealership and how he was treating you.
Yeah, back to the women being in the kitchen. No, like I said, Stefan was getting upset, and so the whole thing where I'm married, put my husband lower car note, whatever. So he kept looking at Stefan, and I'm like, hey, this is my first car. And so we're sitting, here's the table, and he kept putting the paper in front of Stefan. And what Stefan did, he sat back and he looked at me. He said, what do you want to do? Mm-hmm. And so they started asking about the clear coat, but like he was never asking me.
Yeah. When clearly Stefan's like, please talk to my wife.
Yes. And just because his name was on there as well, I'm like, bro, this is my car. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, that's my husband. Yeah, he's going to.
Nope, it doesn't matter.
You've
already expressed that was your first car.
And Stefan understood. Stefan knew. He's very supportive. Like, this is your first car. Like, he was like, I'm so super proud of all the hard work you've done to get here. Mm-hmm. This is yours, no matter if I co-signed or not. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing. I didn't need him to co-sign.
No, but
we got a few dollars. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah, if I'm alone,
ain't nothing wrong taking. But you see, that's a problem with everybody now. Is they all worry about, is it just for you and your name? So they're gonna classify that as, it's not yours. Blah, blah, blah. Bitch, who's paying the fucking bills?
Right. I'd want his name on it as well. That's my husband. Yeah. We have everything together. But he wasn't, even if it was under Stefan, and my name, and we're like, this is both of our vehicle. That man was not including me in it.
Yeah.
And as an adult, I think that was probably one of the first times I've ever dealt with something like that. As an adult, now I'm not saying stuff like that hasn't happened to me as a woman when I was younger, but I work from home. I don't get out much anymore. And I was getting upset, and he's like, "Oh, something about clear coat," and I'm like, "No, I'm going with Tim." And I said it with an attitude.
Woo,
Stefan's like, "Yeah, you know, she knows somebody," and he's like, "Oh," I was like, "No, I'm not getting you clear coat. I'm not paying so much extra, you know."
And you know what that is? I've made videos about it. About these
I'll
dealership
watch,
things, they're sealants, and
exactly,
they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna spray that on there real quick. We can go back there. We're gonna send that guy with the rag and the spray bottle."
And it's not, no.
That's not a coating. How long did
Right.
how long did your SUV sit with me?
3-4 days.
Yes.
Yeah.
It takes 2 days alone.
I cried. I almost cried when I left it. I had it with for like a week.
You didn't have it that long. I know
No.
that. But it was the best thing to do was to bring it.
Get it done.
I mean, just get it done as soon as possible. That way, you know.
Now
I
have to say, before I got it done, I was so scared of like anything touching the car and driving. I don't want to drive on the road construction. Now I'm like, okay. I'm still like, don't get that oil and all that.
No. It's fully, it's fully cured. You're fine.
I know, but I don't want it. And that's the thing is, when we cleaned it, when we did that wash, it was dirty because we live near the
sugarcane fields.
Yep, the sugarcane fields and the plant. We live right where all the tractors pass, and so it was dirty. And when I cleaned it, I was just like, oh my God, like there's no scrubbing. We did the 2 buckets and just Stefan did it the same. I don't think it took us 15 minutes.
See, makes your life much easier.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
So that leaves me to the next question then. Before you knew me, what did you know about detailing then?
Absolutely nothing. Nothing. The only thing I could say I knew is maybe little bits of like my younger brother, you know, because he's very into cars. My dad's into cars, but Armor All. Like, that's all. I don't know. Like, I didn't.
Yeah, you did tell me that you thought swirl marks were what every car should have.
You know, so I didn't know, you know, I really didn't know much.
Oh, well, do you think you learned a lot though? This is something I wonder. So you said you did research, and I'm either going to embarrass you or you're going to know what real research is, but what kind of research did you do? Because I put a lot of information out, and I don't think it's biased.
So my research was your videos, and I also looking at the pamphlet you sent me. That to me had a lot of information. Did you
compare to, now this is the technical side of me, what I would do? I'm probably going to stop you from explaining research because I can't help it. I'm an interrupter, and it's what I do. And then I forgot to hit the cut button too.
And I need my inhaler. I told you I was going to need it.
But no, that's okay. But you finished telling me what you were doing for research, and then I'm going to
that was
okay. So you took the manufacturer's information that they put in a brochure.
And I had seen your video before I bought my car.
Okay.
So I felt like when I went in, and it was the video, y'all were discussing, I forgot his name. I'm sorry. Who's your
David?
David, yes. I almost said something else. I don't know why. But I remember him talking about the work that he did with somebody and how they would cut corners and how he would try to offer up like, hey, maybe we should do this. And I was like, I don't want y'all touching my car. I'm going to go to Tim.
Yep.
You were, I mean, just looking at your pictures. Is.
Well, then that's good then. So I will say looking at the content that I provide can be enough research because I'm not biased. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to give you the information.
Right.
But most people, they fall for the traps. That Ceramic Pro brochure, I don't want people to have that because that just tells you what the manufacturer wants you to, they want you to buy the product, which is fine. I understand it. Sales tactic. I don't use sales tactics. I use factual information, and you digest it, and then you go wherever you want to go. And most people don't come to me when they ready to get the information because they go to the cheaper guy and then they come see me 2 years later.
But I was about to say, but then what happens after?
I don't care.
You know what? It's the same thing with my baking. You know, go to the cheaper person, but then I end up, and I get it. Everybody has different price points. Totally get it. But you got to realize you're paying for quality.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then the research part, you did good. But I'll go back to, because when I ask people how they did research, is they're like, oh, I went to YouTube and I looked at the Ceramic Pro YouTube page. And it's like, you didn't get much information as what to expect from it.
I did have other videos pop up while I was working. I was listening from your page of other people's ceramic.
Mm-hmm.
And I started watching and listening, and they had some people who were doing how-tos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But just watching them, like how they fill in all the scratches, it made me understand your process.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is way different than if I would have got this done at the dealership.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're actually fixing, how did I explain this? Because I was talking to somebody about it. They're not just putting a Band-Aid on top.
Nope.
They're fixing what needs to be fixed, and then they're putting that seal in. You know, it's like it's fixing all those little scratches and then locking that in, like what everybody does now, the epoxy. Is it those cups and stuff people do?
What cups?
You know, like those tumblers, and they pour that epoxy stuff on top.
Sealing
it in.
Powder coating and whatever that stuff is on there.
Yeah, it's like a big sealer. Like they're just sealing what they, you know, that's y'all filling all the cracks and.
Goes to show I don't know much about what they're doing with cups. So I guess it's like a coating then.
Yeah, it's a clear coating, locking in all the work that they've done on these cups.
Okay. Well then,
yeah,
it's almost. It's not powder coating.
No, it's not powder coating. But that's what it's like. It's a sealant. You know, it protects, and that's where
preserves it. Yep. Well, the research most people tell me is they get stuck into the sales traps. I keep not completing my statement here because I branch off into something else, but they do that and they fall into the gimmicks.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem that I find people do. They just go, oh, this is shinier than everybody else's. This is glossier. It's like,
and if you don't do the research, you'll fall for
just the gimmicks and the flashy cars, the $400,000 Lamborghini.
Oh, hey, ceramic coating. You know, people will fall just for that.
Me being in the industry, I hate the people that use the generic terms because they're not telling you the truth.
Right.
They're hiding what they're actually doing. You don't know what they're applying.
Correct. And whereas here you are giving all that information.
Yeah, I'm giving you.
This is what I'm using. This is what I'm doing.
I'm giving you what it's made out of.
Right.
Go do the research. You want the MDS on it? Here's the MDS.
Right.
Now you take that MDS and compare it to what everybody else is, and you tell me what the best is.
And I feel more comfortable sending my brand new vehicle with somebody who is giving me all this information. This is what I'm using. This is what I'm doing, rather than, hey, you want a clear coat? You know?
But these people here in town, like David always stresses a little bit. He's like, oh, man, why is it that we do all this hard work and we give all this information and they don't come to us? And it's like, David, don't worry about that. We don't want those people that don't want to know.
Right. You don't want that in your you don't want that in your customer base.
Oh my God. Wow.
By the way, this camera got my skin looking so clear.
You is glowing, girl.
I'm a little highlight cheeks like that.
Yes. That's and what do you think about the quality of everything is pretty cool on the podcast too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I take pride in everything. That's
well,
why.
I mean, compared to what you said, you know, I've watched and I've listened. I have been listening to some podcasts, and some people, like you said, do it just on their iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the podcast that I can go back and watch on YouTube because I like, you know, like when I'm working, I like watching.
Mm-hmm.
Something about just listening, it doesn't.
You're not really paying. I don't pay attention to just audio.
But when the video's on, I'm not watching it either. But it's something about being able to look every once in a while and see somebody's face that I'm like, okay.
Well, notice how in the shop, I have the TV in the shop.
Yeah.
That's how I watch on my podcast. I might not be staring at it the whole time.
But it's there.
But I need that interaction. And maybe because my lonely ass don't see people very often.
I was about to say, maybe because we're so lonely. We're all working by ourselves, man.
We ain't got no friends.
I'm all alone. But it is different coming from jobs, working with people and with people every day, to being by ourselves, you know? And you would think with quarantine that happened last year, we would have been accustomed to that, but no.
No.
Our little bit of freedom to get out was taken away. Oh my God, no, I can relate.
I have to, but so we're on the same page when it comes to the podcast and having to see it at least. But I forgot where we were. We were on the dealership.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So what happened then after you were talking about your whole experience with getting the car? Mm-hmm. Were we going anywhere with that?
Oh, I was just talking about how they were offering the ceramic coating, and I'm like, nope, I'm going to Tim.
So like, when they offered that coating, did they tell you what it was? Was there a name?
All they said was ceramic coating. Now, like I said, I was kind of getting upset because he was talking to Stefan, and he had this pamphlet, and he's like, if you pay this much, it's this, and you get this, and you pay this. I was like, I don't want any of that. So Stefan kept looking at me, and he's like, what do you want? I was like, I don't want any of that. Mm-hmm. So I'm bringing it to Tim. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to bring it to Tim, and he's going to do, and he's like, and the man was like, oh, who's Tim? And I'm like, oh, well, he's an award winner. Mm-hmm. And I did mention Polish, the whole name and full attention. He's like, oh, I was like, yeah, he does ceramic coating. That's his job. Mm-hmm. He's good at it.
Yeah, he's a pro.
I was like, I'd rather, I was like, he's a pro.
And go to his YouTube channel and see how he's truthful and honest about everything. Right. Unlike certain people that say honesty, integrity, and all that other bullshit on their website, but they are the shadiest motherfuckers in the world.
You should do ASMR.
Oh, God.
Not to cut you off there, but
no, that's fine. My mom does say, she goes, when I listen to your podcast, she goes, you're like your own Howard Stern.
I know.
I was like, I'm not that good.
I think somebody else said that on another video I was watching of yours, and so I was like, you mentioned it or something.
No, I think Janice said it too. She goes, you sound really well, or something like that. Simon's said it a few times too. He's like, you translate well through the microphone, and I was like, might be that expensive microphone. I have no idea. Wish it was my voice, but well, maybe
it is your voice.
It probably is. Am I clear?
Yeah.
Like most times. Do I make sense? That's another thing. Since you've watched them, out of all the episodes, because there was supposed to be like a niche to the podcast. It was really automotive, and then throw it back to who's sitting in the chair and go from there. But do you think everything runs pretty smoothly with it?
It does, and I do like how conversational it is. Like how it's not like how we talk. We get on so many different topics. I like listening to like the different conversations rather than just this is what I do.
Welcome to Sports Talk. If you don't like LeBron James, fuck off.
Correct. We're only talking about, you know what I mean? So I like listening to correct. Do not speak about anything other than ceramic coating, But
what I didn't want is I didn't want a podcast where I'm telling you what you should do, instructing you to do things. Right. I didn't want to teach anybody anything either. No, I do it.
And you just looked very comfortable, like just conversating with people.
Yeah.
That came across the screen very clear.
Okay, but when you're at the shop, we have that discussion.
I know we had to cut out. We were like, oh wait, no, save it for the podcast.
well, even before then, when doing the vehicle, I want to make sure that you understand what you're getting into, because when you pay that deposit, I want you to not go home and go, shit, should I have done that? Should I? Oh my God.
Do it. It's worth it.
We say that again?
Do it. It's worth it. It is. It is. It really is.
Well, what I was going to ask, I mean, besides, we already know my work is great. Shit. Well, I mean, I should have caught you doing that on camera there. There we go. But with the podcast, how you say it just comes off pretty a nice, good discussion. That's how it should be, though, because that's how friends talk. That's how I treat all my clients.
Very inclusive. You're bringing back into the community. You're gathering people, just like with David, though, like just hearing his story and everything. It was just nice getting to know that person. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's very, you speak about what you do. It's testimonials proving how good your work is. And also genuinely, you're trying to get to know the other person sitting across from you.
Well, all in all, it's the summary of the two people sitting here talking. It's their passion.
Correct.
Not the podcast being a passion.
Right.
It's what you do is a passion, because I want to do business with somebody that's passionate about it, because they're going to do everything that they possibly can to deliver what I want.
Correct.
So if anything, I want everybody that watches a podcast to really appreciate and respect the person that's doing what they do, and then just getting to know that they're actually a person just like them.
Right.
We're not in the ivory tower, you know,
not just somebody sitting behind Facebook, you know, like we are people as well.
Yep. Well, I also say, you know, we're not going to turn into the little clubs that you got to sign up for with the membership fees and all that other stuff, but you don't get anything out of it.
Right.
I kind of believe you may get something out of this, you know? Hell, we're sitting here, we're talking about them damn cookies that you keep making, and then now I'm addicted. I told somebody how much I paid for the last batch, and they were like, for cookies? I was like, did you see them? Oh, they look great. I was like, did they taste good? They looked good. They tasted good.
That's my goal.
And they were like, yeah, they are. I can see. But I wouldn't just give those away. You're a client. So guess what? You get these little benefits.
But see, it's those things that make people come back to you and spread your name. So put it like this. If I would have got the ceramic coating at the dealership, that was it. The end of the story. What you did, you sent me home with a box of stuff to take care of soap, instructions, information about each chemical or soap, or use this towel, what to do with everything.
Yeah. Well,
whereas before I wouldn't have known what to do if I would have came home from the dealership. Okay, do I just wash it? Do I put it through a car wash?
I don't want you to have any questions about what you have to do.
But it's things like that. I don't know how many people I've told. So we laugh. We laugh because in my group of friends, my friend has a 2019 RAV4. My other friend got, and that's what sold me on the RAV, was my friend got the 2020. I sat in hers and I was like, oh my God, this is it.
Y'all like the little RAV floor clan here.
But, and that's what we laugh. And then I went and got one. And then one of our other friends was talking about getting one. And I'm like, after I got my ceramic coating, I'm like, I tell everybody, you get a new car, put a ceramic coating.
Well, it doesn't even have to just be new.
But
it's the best thing to do when you do get it. I mean, you seeing the benefits of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, Lord.
It's just little things. You wake up in the morning, you bring my kids to school, and the water is just beating off of my car. It's little things like that. Like I said, when we went to Tennessee, just seeing the difference on how my car did compared to other cars. I even sent you a video. There's snow on my car. I don't know. That's why I'm like probably sometimes too much, but
nope.
I was excited.
That's what I like. I like whenever people are super happy with it, super satisfied.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even my husband's like, nope, we're doing it.
That's good.
He was like, he goes, it needs to be done. We're going to take care of this car. Not that we didn't take care of the others, but now that we're learning and knowing, look how pale I am compared to you. This is what working inside does.
So I work inside too, girl.
Well, you know what? I get dark.
Well, the whole thing is, it's not just going to be, as I said, you're in the honeymoon period. Your first year, I love it, I love it, I love it. Year 3 is when you're going to be like, this was fucking worth it. Because you'll notice the chemicals that you're not buying anymore. You're not
and coming
wondering
from a
what
car
to do.
I had for 10 years and seeing, like I said, when I scrubbed the crap out of that car to sell it, I can't spend a whole Sunday cleaning a car. I can't. I work too much. But even then, who wants to spend their whole day? Okay, some people do, but I'm not that some people.
No.
And it's scrubbing. There's little things that I didn't know or realize that there was. I mean, I scrubbed it all off, but like the dirt gets trapped in certain places. Whereas when I did this, I'm like, shoop. I was like, oh my God.
What did you say? You were like, I was excited to clean my car.
Oh, I was
you said that earlier.
Yes, I was excited to wash my car. I've never been like, let's wash the car. Let's on a Sunday. 15 minutes I was done. And we cleaned it well.
Yeah.
It was just, it's absolutely worth it.
And you see, that's why, well, I mean, I can't really, why was I correlating this to awards and stuff like that? But I don't know. I'm cutting that out.
And I was about to say in the beginning, you did ask about like, what's better?
Yeah, I did. I'm done with that, actually. I was scatterbrained for a second. I think it's just too much sugar right now.
You did chug that coffee.
It happens sometimes. So your business, Candace, how long have you been doing it?
This started as a hobby
Isn't that how it always starts?
in, I think, 2012.
Girl, are you serious?
20. So I was working. It was I worked at a storage facility. There's nothing to do. And so I started watching YouTube videos. I was like, oh, cool. I have a kid. I can make cakes and cupcakes. I grew up baking with my grandmother. And then that's when I started watching like cookie videos. That was something new. Never seen that before. My first pictures are pretty rough. I look back at like my first attempt and I'm like, ooh.
Did it look like those ones that you showed me where these professional bakery shops were making these sad ass looking things?
Maybe. I think my first set I did was Easter. I think that was my first set, and I was like, oh, thank God that I just started. I didn't sell. I didn't start selling till 2016.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me your path is almost similar to mine. You got into doing this in 2012. I started my business right back there in 2012 as a I was off 5 weeks at a time.
Right. Nothing to do
besides drink alcohol. And I was like, oof, this isn't sustainable. Right.
I can't do this forever.
And then in 2016, I got my first shop.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, so our paths are kind of going.
Now
that's why we get along so well.
That's why. That's exactly why. Now, I started this not by choice, though. I'm still learning to, because like if I go somewhere and I have like all my girlfriends with me, and let's say my cookies are there, oh my God, they are hilarious. I have one friend, I can't deal with her. She's like, hey, you saw them cookies? That's Cake and Cookies by Candace. She like has a stack of cards and she'll walk around and hand them out. And I'm
Hell
like,
yeah.
And I'm just like, if they come to me, they come to me. But she's like, Cakes and Cookies by Candace.
That girl's proud of you though. I need me a little salesman like
that. They're all amazing. But I'm like, and they all do that. They're like, hey, that cake's good. That's Cakes and Cookies by Candace.
If you like that, you want some more?
Hey, you want some more? She got a Facebook page.
Oh my God. Well, so you said this was by accident.
Yes.
So go. Look, it's like them stupid tree branches. You can go anywhere. We go sit here and talk about all kind of stuff.
Oh Lord, may have to do a few of these. No. Yeah. So I was doing hair. I started hair. 2010, and I was doing hair. And then 2015 was when the oil field and everything got really bad. We were laid off in a total of 6 months, I think 4 times.
Holy shit.
And so while I was looking for a job, because at that time I couldn't go back to hair. There was nothing, nobody could afford to do the hair, which I understood. I have time. Let me bake. If it sells, it sells, because I had gotten progressively better. It's still, looking back, it was kind of rough, but I was still learning. And so that's the thing with cookies is you have to be able to get better at this, you have to do this every day. You have to research. And so I started, and it got to a point where I was like, while I'm looking for a job, this is some sort of income. And it got to a point where I got so busy that I stopped looking for a job. And it got to a point to where it was every once in a while, I was like, hey, this and this. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm doing kind of good with this. Because while I did hair, I really wished I could have, I wish I could do baking. Never thought I'd end up for that. When I graduated high school, I wanted to go to school for graphic design. Or I wanted to be like a FX makeup artist.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like that around here.
Not yet.
And I didn't want to move. The only really thing they had was like 13th Gate. But I didn't want to move. I didn't want to leave Louisiana. No, I should have left, but looking at it now, but
looking back,
but no, I have so much family. I didn't want to leave Louisiana. This is my home, and it's crazy how it worked out that way. Because while I was doing hair, one of my friends, she was in the salon as well, and she used to do cakes. So it's like she was like, "Man, I wish I could bake. I wish I could just stay home and bake as well." And it was just it happened, and I don't think I would have ever taken that leap. I don't think I would have ever just quit and just gone fully to what I do now.
So your transition was kind of like a slow letting go of something while you embraced more of?
I say it was slow, but it was also quick. Like once I was laid off, I was like, there's not like nobody was hiring. You know, I had that one job. They let me go. They let a lot of people go. I was there for 2 or 3 weeks and they laid off. I didn't understand why they hired me to lay off half of their staff.
Damn.
But after that happened, I was like, I have to make something work until I can find a job. And it just got to a point to where immediately it was nonstop.
Really?
Yeah. And that's why I was like, oh, and it got to a point to where I didn't have time to look for jobs. And so I was like, well, I'm going to just do this for as long as I can. And when the time comes,
I'll have to go and find something else.
and, you know, I keep up, you know, I can still do hair. I was like, let me keep that up. I can always fall back on that if I need. And working elsewhere has not been on my mind since late 2016.
Well, I'm going to say this. Now that, like, you know, well, and the other person, I think her name was Fleur de Sweets, I believe it was. But she started teaching in a school and she doesn't really focus on selling and all this stuff anymore. But when she made that cake, because we were talking about that Angry Birds cake that she had made for me. And that's when I realized, actually, there's people doing this from home.
Yes, there's a lot of people.
So then whenever I honestly do not remember what made me go with you. I don't know how I found you. I can't remember if it was...
Was it my mom? When did you say you did her car?
No. This wasn't in 2013, 2014.
No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know when I wasn't even really doing them then, so...
I believe I found you when I got over the bullshit that happened in 2018. Because or was it before 2018?
Because I remember my mom mentioned, Tim who did the car, maybe no?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Because I do have other clients.
It could have been my mom sharing my stuff on her page. She shares everything.
Maybe so. But all I know is once I found out you were doing this, I started looking, like people are actually doing this. And every time I compared what they did, your shit just stood out so much. Even still to this day, I'm sitting here comparing what people are doing, and now I'm comparing people all over the country to what you're doing.
Now, that's not to dismiss. There are some cake bakers around here who do amazing work.
Well, I'm sincerely biased because I see it.
Right.
I see it firsthand. I have it in my hand.
Right.
And so pictures, yeah, they're beautiful.
Right.
But when you look at that in person and it looks just as good as the fucking photo.
Well, and then there's also the thing too, like with my cookies, I can show it to the camera. I don't even know.
Sure.
Is the thickness.
Yes.
I've noticed a lot of people who do cookies, they're thin. I want to give my people like the quantity of the cookie. I don't want to give, like that's just my personal opinion. I want to give you a thick cookie. I could break one open in the camera. They're soft. That's the thing too.
Literally, I have one. My little need for a snack is done because it's not dry.
Right.
It's not.
And the icing isn't break your teeth hard.
Nope.
It melts in your mouth.
And it's not super sweet either.
Right.
So I don't know how. We're not going to talk about how you do that, but
secret.
I'm gonna say that was a problem with sugar cookies you buy from the store.
Right.
Is super sweet.
Or decorated cookies, because like if you go to Target or even the dollar store has like these little cookies, especially during Easter. They're decorated, but they are hard. They're like, that's the thing too when it comes to my pricing. I do price per cookie. But at the same time, if you're going to Target or Starbucks, even has some of those cookies, you're paying $2 to $3 a piece for these cookies.
Yep.
That are thinner, harder, not as good. Not to put them down, but
no, they aren't. They aren't.
It's a mass production, is what they're doing. These are custom made.
Yep.
And
if nobody can appreciate your talent,
right?
Because you've done some, progress videos that I've seen and stuff like that. Just like what I do, there's a process to this.
It is a process. It does take, and I know I've been put down. I have a lot of friends in this business now, and we've had people make comments, "Oh, well, it's just flour and sugar." Then you do it.
Yeah. Where's your fucking flour and sugar cookie?
It may just be a cookie to you. It may just be flour and sugar, but this is a process. You want it done right. You want cookies without grease stains. You want cookies made with real butter. Like, This isn't these aren't cheap to make.
Well, you also told me about because we did the new cookies this year.
Yes.
And you got to see those in the shop. Sorry.
There's cookie cutters that go into this.
But you were teaching me how the transfer.
Right.
If you did this on top of another, the transfer is going to turn into a blobby mess.
Right.
And
And that's something that I learned that took me, how many years have I been doing this now? It's something that we've learned to, when you first begin, let's say red and white. Red, when I first started, anything red on top of white icing would bleed into it, or black. So it's gotten to a point to where I've mastered what I do now to where I don't have that issue. There's things that I used to run into issues now that I've learned. There's recipes. There's all kind of different things that goes into it rather than just a cookie.
So what you tell people is you're paying for all the years it took me to produce what you're getting now.
You're paying for the education. There are things online that we have to pay for if we want to further our education. There's classes we can take. There's all kind of different things. Like, you're not just paying for cookies. And just this is a specific cookie cutter that I have to buy. I have thousands of dollars worth of cookie cutters that I've invested in. This gold shimmer on the cookie, that's not cheap.
Really?
That's not cheap. So it's not just, or let's say I do cookies with hand-drawn things on them. That takes a lot of time.
Oh my God. I remember when you were doing my first set of cookies and they were all hand piped.
They were all hand piped, but
you see that
that takes time.
When what was the it was the logo.
I just did those.
Oh my God.
Aren't those cute?
Oh my God. The color schemes that are in,
and I have to give hand to my customers because they're the ones that send me what they want, but they're wearing masks.
That's so weird.
That's hand drawn things. I've done portraits of celebrities. I've done what I did Harry Styles a few weeks ago.
Well, you showed me the Snoop Dogg one.
The Snoop Dogg, that looks easy, but it takes time. The process from baking the cookie to making sure the icing is dry enough, because each cookie is individually heat sealed, which that makes them last a good while.
A year, baby.
Well, I don't recommend that, but
bitches, y'all getting some cookies that are a year old sometimes.
But
bitches still
they last. Good. You pop them in the freezer, they will stay for.
We see when I give them to them, I tell them, I'm like, when you're not eating them, do put them in the freezer.
Yes,
I honestly tell them that. I was like, that package is gonna. It's gonna be safe. I tell them a year because I've eaten one past a year, and then I tell them pop it out, put it in the microwave for 20 seconds, and boop. You told me 10, but now I do 20.
20 seconds.
And perfectissimo, especially if you're taking it out of the freezer.
And I give props to my mother-in-law for that, because I was making pumpkin spice cookies. Oh my God, those are my favorite. Pumpkin spice, and she popped it in the microwave. So good. So I know that was very basic of me.
No, that's okay.
I love pumpkin. I love pumpkin spice.
You're a white girl, so that's expected.
You know what?
Even though I'm the one with the fancy coffee all the time, that's difficult
my
to
Starbucks
shit.
And my pumpkin spice.
Wait, what did you do? You asked me yesterday. You were like, "Do you like coffee?
Do you like Starbucks?
Do you know I had to go through my little timeline of photos? I'm like, let me show
you sent me 5 or 6 pictures of your coffee. You know what? Who's the more basic white girl here? I don't know if it's me.
I love my fucking Starbucks. I'm sorry.
I do too. That's why I was like,
but oh my God.
But no, all the flavors I've done a red velvet. That one's really good. Warmed up.
That's what I really want is I want some flavors, but you say that's so expensive to do too.
And it's so hard because people ask for it, but then when I offer,
I just remembered.
What?
Did you look into what it would take for the
flavors?
The other cookie that I asked you?
Oh. Don't worry about it.
You forgot it?
No, it was the chocolate with the raspberry. That's what the one we're talking about.
Yeah, the CP one.
If you want that, all I have to do is send her the picture. Whenever you're ready, I'll just send it to her and she'll make the stencil.
Okay. Well, when things get on and popping again and I have some extra money, we're getting those ordered because that's one that I want to put in the box.
That's Stefan's cousin. I'll just go to her and
But that would be a permanent one that we.
She has it done within a few days for me.
Oh, awesome.
So depending on her orders, depending on what she has that week.
Ah, sweet.
So as long as you give me a little bit of notice.
Freaking amazing. Well, they won't be in a hurry or anything like that. But once I have the money, I'm gonna be like, okay, here, send me a little invoice and we're gonna get those on and popping.
So, but yeah, no, I do like to do flavors. At one point I was doing monthly flavors because that's what people asked for, but nobody was.
Do you find that to be a problem whenever sometimes you want suggestions? Like everybody wants to give suggestions, and then when you ask for a pool of, hey, what would y'all like? crickets.
I would love this. I would love if you did this. I would order this if you did this, and then I do it. And now I don't know if it's because of the Facebook algorithm and they don't see it, but I mean, no, I don't. It's hard to predict what people are wanting.
Well, that's when.
Now, I also think the thing is too with the flavored cookies, because I wasn't doing decorated cookies. It was just, a regular round cookie. Those sell out when I do like an event, like if I do like a booth somewhere. Mm-hmm. But I think what it is because I do meetups. Because I have so many orders, I can't, unless it's like a wedding cake, I can't really deliver because I have so many people meeting up. There's not enough time in the day.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what it is. People don't want to meet up or go out of their way for such a smaller priced item, I guess you can say.
Really?
I don't know. That's when I'm kind of.
If you're placing an order, then it's worth it.
Now, if I say, hey, delivery, then people want that. But it's convenience, and I get that. But I can't.
Well, let's talk about your client base. Through the years, when you first started, how has this grown to where it is today? Like, we're in Acadiana. I kind of want to say it's a difficult market whenever you're a smaller business like we are.
It is.
What do you think? Of course, we'll talk about growth and everything, but what do you feel is like your most difficult thing in your industry to break past? What are your obstacles?
I have to think about that one. I think for me, not being specifically in Lafayette, I have, let's just say, my mom and my aunt. I have a whole lot more people. So word of mouth, like I have a great family and friends who advocate for me. That has been my number one. That's how I get most of my customers. The hardest thing I find is, let's say, mom groups. I'm not in mom groups, but I can sometimes see when I'm tagged and stuff.
So why aren't you in the mom groups then? Because I mean, if you're there,
have you ever been in a mom group?
No, I'm not a mom.
Then you'll get out of them real quick. It's very mom groups can be very toxic.
Okay, well then it sounds like same with me.
But
the car groups,
right?
For my industry, a lot of people go to the car shows and everything like that, and people are pretty dead set on. Either they know everything, or I already know a guy. And then you ask them, well, what do you know? What does that guy do? Me, I try to educate people.
Right.
And I think people think that I'm trying to make them look bad.
Right.
No. I want you to know the truth.
Correct.
Of what's going on.
Correct.
So I can understand then why you wouldn't be in the mom groups because.
And then I honestly don't. I just say in groups, period. I don't get much business from it just because, especially I do find since quarantine, there's also people who offer cookie classes. And if you want to start this, go right ahead. Like I love helping people. That might even be something in, after COVID is.
But that's not what you're not in business to teach anybody anything.
But then that is one of my goals. I do want to do like some type of cookie classes, but like parties, like events and stuff. And that was my goal before COVID. I was going to start, I was looking into places. Thanks, COVID, So,
yeah.
So, but it all happens the way it does.
What you talking about? That Rona don't exist. That's a hoax, girl.
It is a hoax. So you know what? No, no, but it did hinder a lot of what plans I do have or what I do want to do. But what happens is like there are cookie classes, and people go to a cookie class, and so when you go to a cookie class, I'm assuming everything's provided. You have the icing already made. The cookies are already made. You don't bake it. So,
well, wait a minute. Wouldn't you during a cookie class you would teach them to make their icing or something?
No, you teach them to decorate the cookies.
Oh.
And so like I said, I don't know. I've never spoken to somebody. What I feel like happens is a lot of people think, "Oh, hey, that was fun. I want to start that." It is a fun job. I spoke to somebody who ordered for me yesterday. She's a teacher and she was doing cookies, but she said it's too much. And
what do you mean by too much? Too much to Just too much to provide to people, or just
it's
too much to organize?
Too much time is taken away. She doesn't have enough time to be able to, with teaching. There are people who have full-time jobs who do this, and I don't understand how.
Wow.
Because I'm working from 8 o'clock in the morning till Thursday night. I didn't go to bed till 6 a.m. I went to sleep for 2 hours, and then I was back at it all day yesterday.
Holy shit, girl.
So it's like, I don't think people realize when they go to a cookie class, you know, they do the cookies, and that's great. I want more people to do something. This is a great industry. You know, I can't provide to everybody.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way. That would be great if I could, but I can't.
You need a star.
You know, I don't have 15 hands.
Yeah.
You know, and so I am limited to, because of time. There's only 24 hours in a day, and apparently I only sleep 4 of them. So,
girl, don't do that.
No.
You're gonna be like Trump, girl.
Bro.
No sleep. You're gonna get cuckoo.
Oh, yeah, I'm already cuckoo, so.
You don't want to be that kind of cuckoo.
No, absolutely not. So, but, you know, I do my best to be able, but I think what happens is once they get in their home and they start baking and realizing, just like I was speaking about earlier, all the little things with the icing, the blue, why doesn't it look like this? And
everything
not
just adds
not realizing all these people you see on social media who do these cookies like this have been doing this for years. It's taken me, there are still things that I do I would love to perfect on. And I started this in 2012 as a hobby. You know, I've been doing this almost 10 years, and it's, Jesus, I didn't even realize it's been almost 10 years.
Girl,
but
yes.
It's an ongoing learning thing. My kitchen, because I am a home bakery, my kitchen is not a kitchen.
Yeah, it's your house.
It is. And it's like, I don't think people realize all that goes into it. And I understand that. You know, you're not going to see that. But once they bring it home and they start doing it, and then they sell to a few people, and that's where, oh, hey, I know so-and-so, they're going to do it for me cheaper. That's fine. I understand, because, boo, I get my clothes from Walmart. Like, I don't need expensive things.
So going back to the client base, then, did you struggle with a client base? That's what I was wondering.
In the beginning, I did. And then I started to value myself. I started to sit there and say, you know what? My cookies are good. My cookies are thick. Right. My cookies taste amazing. And then
I have not found anything else like that around here. I'm sorry.
And it was to a point to where I started realizing my growth, and that I was doing better than I was 2 years before. And then that's when I started raising my prices, because I work my ass off for that.
And how many awards do you have?
3.
Say that louder for everybody.
3 awards. And guess what?
Yeah, baby.
Now, last year, I have to say, I did want to tell you this. Last year, when they had all the nominations, there were so many home bakers, and I was so happy to see that. I was like, you would think I'd be like, oh no, competition. No, I loved that. I was so.
But you know what that also
excited.
Means? That's that many eyes that are watching you too.
Right.
Because that's one thing David told me. Because of course David is, if nobody knows, I've got a mobile part of the business now. David does great mobile detailing. That's Top Shine, and I don't take any of that money from him. If you need your vehicle really cleaned and everything, he'll do it for you. Well, do it for me. But he told me one day he went in some detailing group, and they had some people from Louisiana, and he was like, and they were like, oh man, so how do you know this? How do you know that? And he was like, oh, well, I work with this guy, you know, Polish, and like, oh, we know him.
But see, that's my thing, is that I have people tell me, so-and-so's talking about you. I still cannot wrap my hand around my head.
Wrap my head. like the alien.
Wrap my head. I can't wrap my head around. I think my Facebook, I mean, that used to be something that I valued, like how many likes do I have on Facebook now?
Nah, you can't do
now that I do what I do, I more value my customer base rather than numbers. But I think I'm at over 7,000 likes on Facebook.
High five, girl. There we go.
You know, like, I don't know if I can reach that far.
I can't reach. I got long arms and I can't reach that far.
But it's like realizing that there are people out there that know about me that I don't. It's hard to grasp. And so I still think of myself sometimes as this little home baker.
Okay, but
It's hard because
I wonder if you think like me, and this might portray me as a very pessimistic person, though. Do you see them looking up to you or trying to destroy you some kind of way? My sick head, because people don't reach out. And I've always been the type of person, like, if I think you're amazing, I want to go meet you.
Right.
I want to see you. I want to talk to you. I don't want to steal anything from you, but I want to do. There was been guys in town, right? I'd go to their shops. I'd go and talk to them. Hey, man, I'm Tim. You need anything?
Exactly.
Blah, blah,
You're
blah.
excited to speak to somebody who's doing what you do and has the same mindset, as am I. You know, I told you this earlier. I've made friends. Like, I have great friends, and I would have never met them if I didn't do this. And there was something, one of my friends, she does cookies as well.
Mm-hmm.
People think that we've had somebody tell us our sons are best of friends. They go to jiu-jitsu together. She's Cookies by Macy. Look her up. She's amazing too, you know? And so see that that people are like, oh my God, like, wait, what?
But my scare though is this, before you go too far, I want to catch you though, because when you reach out, do you feel lonely at times because you kind of want that back? You kind of want to feel like somebody is interested and wants to come and talk to you.
Well, this was the thing with me and her. I was intimidated by her. She did it, I think, a few years before me. But here's the thing. She was intimidated by me. We spoke about this. She was scared to reach out to me, as I was scared to reach out to her, because it's put into our minds that we have to be competitive. No. Me and her, we're both constant. Every week we'll message each other. We're both constantly busy. And what's funny is, like, when we're busy, we send people to each other. Yeah. And we're both
and don't
busy.
even know it really. Yeah.
And so it's like, we're not hurting one another. There's so many people that want these things. There's so many birthdays. Like, that's something that's never, I even learned through a pandemic. Through a pandemic, people want food.
They still gotta eat.
They still want their cakes. They still want cookies. But it also helped parents make their kids feel special in a crappy time.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there was a part where me and her both had to stop because everything was gone. Everybody making y'all banana bread.
Oh, I remember you saying
we had to stop.
You couldn't get certain things.
Nope. And then, I mean, there was a point too, you know, we were all on lockdown. So it was a scary point. But once all that lifted, it was nuts. You know, that was one of my busiest years.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's kind of good that I'm glad you shared that she felt intimidated, which is why she didn't reach out. I just always feel people don't like me and don't want to talk to me. So I think that they're trying to take me down.
I'm the same way. And it might be maybe something happened in our past, or we're just like,
no, I already know I know what my problem is. I was always a fucking outcast. I was never too good for one group. I was never too good for another group. I didn't belong to anybody. Nobody wanted me around anyway.
I mean, we're raised for competition. Thinking about it, everybody has to compete with one another, and I'm not like that. I'm not going to put down someone else.
I am now.
I am not. I'm gonna put you. He's like, I'm gonna put you down.
I'm getting the 8th award. Fuck you people in town.
No, I am. I'm like, yeah, you know, I have 3 awards. Like I said, last year I was excited to see the other people.
How many people were there?
There was a lot. There was a lot more than there had been any other year. I wish they would make a separate, because like I explained to you, I don't feel like I should be based at a level with a bakery.
They're not going to do that though.
But they're not going to. They have best, not best cakes, but they have like best donuts, best king cake. I emailed and also I had somebody email in too saying, hey, can we do one for best decorated cookies? Because there's a lot of people around here who do decorated cookies.
Yeah. Well, you know how long it took them to do a detailing? Because guess what? I was #1 best automotive body shop. But it's like, I'm not a body shop.
Right.
And I did get calls. It was like, oh, I got into an accident. I was like, I can't help you with that because, I mean, I don't do that. They're like, yeah, but you're in the Times of Acadiana for what happened.
I see it here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why I don't like long hair.
I don't ever wear my hair down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Jackson made me. He was like, wear it down, Mom. It looks pretty. I was like,
Lord.
yes, sir. Okay.
It's pretty, but I mean, it's a headache.
Oh, I'm like, oh my God.
Look, your neck's all sweating and everything.
Purple dripping down my neck.
No, but I mean, I had to get them to do the detailing thing, and I had to ask for that 2 years in a row.
Well, she's a nurse practitioner. Last year, she won first place, but the year before, they had her under best doctor or something, and she asked to be removed because she's like, that's not what I am.
Mm-hmm.
And they finally put it nurse practitioner last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I feel like maybe they should open it up and be like, hey, what are some categories? Asking, because decorated cookies are a huge thing right now.
Well, I tell you what, I'm glad I was not a sugar cookie person. A
lot of people aren't, and that's the funny thing, because I used to do the booth at Cajun Palms. What I tell you, it's very hard it takes a lot of time for me to prepare for a booth, because I used to do, it was like the spring, and I think it was the last year I was able to do it. I had people walk by. I was like, would you like to, I brought samples. I made some little minis, and I had people tell me, I don't like sweets. And here's my mom advocating for me.
Yep.
My mother-in-law did the same thing.
She is perfect for that.
My mom and my mother-in-law, they're both like, no, like, try it. I had one lady, she was adamant. And when somebody's like, oh, I don't want to try it, me, I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Okay, you're like me.
Right.
It's like, you told me no? Okay, bye.
I'm not going to push you. My mother-in-law, she's like, no, I'm telling you. So the lady took one. She ended up buying 10 cookies from me.
Yes.
So it's like, she was like, and these are all for me. She's like, I'm not sharing these with anybody. And she was adamant. She hated sweets.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that, because I'm not going to push you to, but once she tried it, she's like, no, this is.
And that cookie, I've had clients go, oh no, that's too sweet for me. And I'm like, well, you got 3 in your box. Mm-hmm. You can give them to whoever you want. I was like, but they're not sweet.
And I've had people,
they look sugary as shit.
They do.
But they're
really not. And I've had some people who have ordered to try, and I totally get it. Like my grandfather, he passed away a few years ago. If he would have been alive when I did this, I can tell you right now, he wouldn't have liked them. Not because he loved crunchy cookies.
Oh.
And I totally understand
like
that.
Chips Ahoy.
He liked sugar cookies, but he liked them. Or like any cookies my grandma made, he liked them crunchy.
Oh, them crumbly things.
With the oatmeal, with the ice, which I get. That's rather gross. But like, that's people's preferences. But there's more people who like a soft cookie rather than a crunchy cookie.
A soft tick cookie.
Oh, and when you a tick, bro, tick. So
that cookie got back.
Tick with 2 C's.
No, we might start a new fetish. These people, okay?
Bro.
Y'all don't be thinking about doing that cookies. Well, she made them dick print ones though. What?
Too bad we can't. You'd be
demonetized. Look at that
YouTube.
picture by her head right now. She got that shorts with. Oh my God, y'all! She makes the funniest cookies. I love it.
I was gonna say I made some for my cousin. I think they gave it to his employees. And dude, some of these were hilarious because it's inside jokes. Those are the best. I have a cake coming up soon. And it's like, she's like, okay, I wanted to say this around it. And I'm dying laughing, knowing they're inside jokes, not knowing what's so funny about it. But it's funny.
You're just like, oh shit.
Like, it's hilarious. Like,
you're part of the group.
Some of the things, dude, y'all want vulgar cookies? Come to me. You will not.
What's the most requested cookie that people ask for? That's going to be the thing, because we're in a specific demographic. This is Cajun Heartland. We also have a lot of bias on what they want here and what they want people to know about this area. But this kind of tells what the area is like. But what do they always request from you?
Get a lot of baby shower and bridal showers, bachelor parties too, birthdays. It's hard to say one thing because they're so customized to one person.
But when you get them, though, does it look like the same type of cookie cutter stuff that, are they getting creative? Because when I see
it's hard. And I know people don't see it from their end, but they come across cookies online. Like this past week, I did 2 baby showers. They were very similar. Neither one of them knowing they sent me the same picture.
Wow.
So that comes across, but I find more when it gets to like birthdays, that's when it's like, so what I did a Snoop Dogg. That set had, I can show you right now. That set had Snoop Dogg, Hello Kitty. Where is it at? Weenie Dogs. Like,
send me that picture too.
I will. It was like a customized set. So it's like, it depends on the person. I've done some with their husband liked old trucks. I hand painted trucks on there. It really depends. Like it's so hard to say. Now that's another thing too, is I stepped away from Disney characters. because
Did you get some kind of infringement thing?
no, but I don't want to, and that's why I stepped back from Disney.
Okay.
Now if I buy like a cake, if I buy like a character and put it on, I can do that.
Yeah.
But I stepped away from Disney, especially Disney, so I don't really do characters.
Okay.
Which is crazy because even the shape of Mickey Mouse's head, Disney will sue. I was in a bunch of cookie groups, and there were about 2 women, and they were home bakers, and Disney sued them so hard because they posted one set of Mickey Mouse cookies that they lost their homes. And I was like, yep, that's not worth it. So like
wow.
that's a request I get a lot is characters, but I had to step away. I can't.
That's gonna be like, you want Mucky Miss? You want Mucky Miss?
Which now I'll stick with the theme. Like, so I have somebody wanting Sesame Street cookies.
Uh-huh.
I won't do the characters, but I can do the colors and the you know what I mean? I'll stick with the theme.
Mm-hmm. So
it's hard to say, like, because it's such a wide variety of things.
I'm gonna say though that's boring. I don't like those type of, because I can't relate to all these wedding and baby
Right.
shower things. And I and mind you, I see everything you post.
Right.
Everything is freaking amazing. The work is there. I mean, and this once again is my little biased
Right.
feeling. But do you like doing just like one-off weird things? And so, what's the weirdest thing that you've ever gotten?
That's a hard one. The weirdest. I don't know.
Because girl, you
It's
just
hard.
showed me them little shorts.
It's hard for me to. It's hard for me
baby.
to say weird because I grew up, I guess, kind of weird. So
Well,
nothing.
I guess I say weird because it's not expected
You
in
mean
this area.
raunchiest?
Hey, pull out the penis.
It's, I've done a lot of penises. I've done vaginas. I've done boobs. Oh my god, the booby
I
cocoa
remember
bombs I
saying-
did. Those.
No, I didn't see the cocoa bomb.
Oh, I
saw
did booby. Oh no, I did send you the booby cocoa bombs.
You did?
Yeah, for Valentine's Day.
Why do I think they were cookies?
No, that was some cocoa bombs.
Oh, them bitches busted.
Which and then
Your implant busted, bitch.
I didn't think about I didn't think about this until after I did it, but I did for my cousin, I did 2 sprinkles on each side of like the nipple.
Mhm.
So it looked like pierced cocoa bombs. It was
they're
so
like,
funny.
They're like, no, that's strip of glitter.
Which is crazy because like a lot of people bought that. They're like, oh, it's for a joke. And I'm like, haha, joke. Yeah.
No.
But I don't mind doing any of that, Like I don't mind.
So I mean, somebody can request anything from you, and you're willing to do pretty much anything. Because we were looking at a friend of yours that moved to Texas, and she has some phenomenal work. But she seems like do more cakes, right?
She does do cookies, but she is doing more cakes now.
Which do you prefer? Because of course,
I like cookies.
the name of your business is
Cakes and Cookies by Candace.
I was about to say, you can't just go cakes and
Cakes
cookies,
and Cookies
girl.
by Candace.
You better make sure you put your name up in that
Yeah.
motherfucker. But I mean, which one do you prefer, or which one do you do the most of here?
I do more cookies.
Okay, yeah.
Cakes like take a lot more time. I can get a lot more cookies done. Cakes
Don't last long either.
They don't last long, which I do enjoy doing cakes. Don't get me wrong, but now I've limited myself to about 2 or 3 cakes a week.
A week?
Yeah, which I
A
don't
week?
listen to my own rule, and sometimes I'm doing like 5 and 7 cakes on top of like 200 to 300 cookies
Wait
a
minute.
week.
Wait a minute. As far as I know, when you're doing cakes, like there's so much cooling time for the what is it?
The icing to set and stuff. Yeah.
Well, not just the icing, but what is that called? The actual cake itself. The
After it comes out,
spongy stuff.
for it to cool.
Yeah, you gotta wait it to cool before you can put any kind of icing on it, because otherwise it saturates it.
I have a whole process set up.
Oh my
I have a
God.
whole time process set up, and
I remember I used to have so I don't know if you know, but of course when I worked offshore, the way I got in offshore was I had to work for a catering company.
oh really?
Yeah, because I was a qualified, aviation electronics technician out of the military,
Let
but
me do
nobody wanted to
catering.
hire me because I wasn't fucking nobody's daughter and I wasn't related to nobody, so nobody would hire me around here. So I got with a catering company, and I, my first hitch, I washed dishes, and I said I'll never do this again, and of course I didn't.
Yeah.
The next one I cooked,
rough.
and then I moved up very quickly. in it.
Right.
But I had to learn to bake doing that, and boy, I wasted a lot of baking supplies.
Yeah, and I don't think people realize that with cakes that you can't.
No.
You cannot.
You have to measure. You cannot.
You cannot
guesstimate.
ice. You cannot ice right away as well. Which, if you're making cakes at home, that is my biggest tip. Wait to ice. Wait until that cake is cooled down, because what happens is the icing melts, and people are like, "Oh, it wasn't staying." Yeah, because it's still warm.
Mm-hmm.
And so
That's the thing. That's why I'm surprised you're doing 5 cakes a week.
I exhaust myself when I do that, but at the same time too, it's like I feel bad when I say no. That's my thing. Now, before COVID and everything, it got to a point to where it's like I was adamant on my schedule, and now I'm starting to kind of get back there. I think I was just felt bad for, especially for all the kids last year. You know, I felt bad for everybody because I know what it's like.
Everybody just needed everybody needed some kind of comfort, some kind of joy, because everything was just so chaotic last year.
You know, and so it's starting to kind of get back to routine now. So I'm trying to stick with 2 cakes. There aren't as many cakes since COVID. You know, I lost Millie. She moved to Texas. If you're in Texas, look up Millie P Sweets. She does some amazing. If not, go look her up on TikTok because she is cracking me up lately.
Wait. So we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about TikTok then. Yes. So does TikTok work for you? Because I have a feeling it would work. Wait. I have a feeling it works for you because you can speed it up and you can do all this other stuff. I think you can market
enjoy it, and I have a lot of people who say they enjoy my videos. So I'm trying to do more videos. It's hard when I have a really busy week. Like, it's super hard. But at the same time too, I don't get many views on TikTok. I don't do it to get TikTok famous. You know, I'm doing it because my people say they like to watch that. And so that's why I do it. On there, he's like, give me those cookies.
Yeah, I want to see.
So it's to say that like I get business from TikTok. No,
these are my cookies too.
They're all his. Are they so cute?
See, when I see piping work, you know, I guess I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah,
I guess I am.
And then too, you could pop all those into a Ziploc bag.
Girl, you didn't show me that one.
Yeah, they got some little paws, some little bunny paws.
Okay, so go back to TikTok though. I'm sorry, I kind of.
Well, and I find too that there's some TikTok really isn't booming, I guess, like Instagram is for bakers. They have some people who do like time lapse cookie videos. It's easy for us, you know.
Is it something that you can market your business on though?
Not really.
Okay.
But the videos I make, I share on Facebook and Instagram.
See, because that's the thing that I'm trying to figure out with other people with other businesses.
Now, during quarantine, because that's when Cardi B was popping, as she still is, but Tiger King. I didn't
watch that. Did you watch that?
Oh God, yes,
I didn't watch that.
Oh yeah, I watched Tiger King. I made cookies with Tiger King.
Everybody was talking about it too much, and if there's too many people talking about it,
we thought the same thing, and then we watched it, and we're like, God, this is gold. It's gold. He's such a mess, but it was gold. It was good. You know, during that time, there was nothing else to do, so I made a Cardi B cookie. I don't know if you ever saw that.
No, I did see that. Wait. No. Was it kind of like the same one as the Snoop Dogg one where it was screened? Or did you pipe that one? I don't think I saw it. I don't think I saw it.
I'd made a Bob Ross painting. I did that live. And then I did a video with that.
No, I didn't see the Bob Ross. And I'm trying to think of Cardi B because I might be confusing that with a cartoon that I was watching with Cardi B. No, seriously.
Let me get it.
I get a lot of things confused.
This one.
No, I didn't see it. What? Coronavirus.
Because that's hers when she was.
I like that overlay thing.
I think that's my projector.
I
like the song. I was like, yeah. When I found it, I was like, this is gold. But I had so much time. I had nothing to do.
So was this an order for somebody?
No, I just did this.
You were just
that was during lockdown. And then it.
Shit. That's fire! Right? Oh my God, that's fire! I probably
watched it 10 times, but so I did that. I did I'm not gonna show you the whole thing, but I did a whole Bob Ross. I did that live.
Really?
Yeah, I watched. I watched one of his because Aiden, my son, was obsessed with Bob Ross for a while. So I hear him. I want to go visit.
Yes, it's so bad.
I want to play.
Yeah, well, I opened the door so they hear us even more. It's like, but I gotta have the door open for the AC.
The air. But no, I did a bunch of did the Harry Potter one? But yeah, for Bob Ross, I watched one of his videos and I followed his painting.
Oh, so you painted with him?
Yeah. don't know if you ever saw that.
Well, I think you just had a picture of it, but I didn't watch it live.
Yeah, I did it live, and then I did this video. This was so I was live and recording.
Wow.
So I did the whole painting. I don't know if you want to watch the whole thing.
No, let it go. Girl. That shit looks good.
Thank you. It was hard. It was so hard.
I can imagine. And then you're doing live, and then you have that pressure of, oh my fucking God, I can't fuck this up, or
Well,
I
and
just
then-
wasted the whole video.
And then it was more of like, it is what it is. Like, I'm doing a painting on a cookie.
What's your TikTok? Tell everybody your TikTok.
Candace Mir.
Candace, wait,
Mir.
spare the last name, because some people, because you know,
Oh, yeah.
not everybody's Cajun.
Mire.
Because I do know the people that have the same last name as you, but they have put an H.
Yeah. I've seen it. That's Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. I'm like obsessed. So.
Oh, he did a Voldemort on the other side.
Yes. It's one of my favorites, but TikTok is almost like Facebook with the algorithm.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hate these algorithms.
If you don't get
How do we get trending is what I'd like to know.
You want to know how I got a viral video on TikTok.
Did you?
Had nothing to do with my cakes and cookies.
What was it?
I'll show you. Stefan was watching a live video during when McConnell kept saying no to the stimulus or whatever.
Oh, God.
So watch it. Listen in the background. You hear the guy.
Many of the people on the steps today were domestic terrorists, and Mitch McConnell is the leader.
McConnell's a bitch. And this was alive. And so on his phone, he was able to rewind it. And I recorded that. Yeah, I have almost 35,000 views. But yet I have cocoa bombs and cookies with only 150.
Isn't it amazing? It confuses me what people like when you put so much work into this, and you really want people to just see what you're doing. And they're just watching shit.
Well, and it was like the Tiger King cookies. During quarantine, I did Tiger King. I did like 4 or 5 different cookies. Didn't really do anything. Harry Potter on TikTok is big on TikTok. I didn't get many views on that, which that was one of my best cookies I've done. It was a portrait of Harry and Voldemort. You know, I have one. There's a lot. I did some really good things during quarantine on TikTok. Makes me loud. Like I did a lot.
Well, in a way though, that just made you better though,
Oh,
because you played around, you
right.
did some different things.
I did this one. I don't know if you saw this.
Because I'm not on TikTok, so. Who is that?
Breonna Taylor.
Oh no. No, how long ago did you do this one? Was it when everything was going on?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Did you just do that for you, or was that for somebody?
I did that for me. I did that to kind of not how it said silence is not an option.
Mm-hmm.
I don't post politics on my page.
I don't blame you.
But also I wasn't going to be quiet about that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
How it says I understand that I will never understand. However I stand.
Yeah.
You know, that is my viewpoint. You don't agree with it? Bye. Like,
peace out. Yeah.
I'm not one to, like I said, I'm not one to post politics. I don't want to talk politics on my page. But that I felt very strongly about. And I thought that would be seen more. It could be the area I'm in. I don't understand how with TikTok's algorithm. I don't get it quite yet. So, but what I do is all the videos that I post on TikTok, they go on Instagram and also my Facebook page.
Okay, so you are moving them around.
Right, because there's
not stuck on one platform.
The Harry Potter one on Facebook did amazing, but on TikTok it did. So it's like I don't understand.
I hate to admit, I don't think I could make anything successful on any other platform.
Mm-hmm.
I can only make things successable on Facebook for some
Right.
reason. You said you had 7,000 or so people following you. That's what I have for my
Yeah.
business. I can't. I tried trying to make Snapchat happen, but
No.
that doesn't work.
Snapchat, I feel like it's on Instagram. I have Instagram, but that's more for where other bakers follow other home bakers.
Oh, where they learn things.
And like we all support, and that's another thing too, is like you get a lot of support from other bakers. You get a lot of follows from other bakers.
You heard that, detailers? Bakers that are helping support other bakers. Why the fuck y'all can't do that here in town?
And that's the thing is where I've come to realize I can't cater to everybody. I can't.
Yeah.
You know, there are people, my prices are too high for them. I completely understand. You do not hurt my feelings by saying that.
Yeah. Well, I like to hear that y'all are supporting each other. It's that simple. I mean,
now I'm sure there's not everybody, you know, back to where we were saying how, you know, you feel like people are out to get you. In the
I always feel that way.
Well, when it was the first year of the awards, I was scared. My mom was like, I'm going to recommend you. And I'm like, no, I do not want to be on that.
No, you deserve it. What are you talking about?
But I was scared. I was scared of big bakeries because of you hear horror stories of little people getting knocked back down. And I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know anything about bakeries in Lafayette. And so I was scared. She went to nominate me and I was already nominated.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody nominated me for that. And so it's like each year somebody's nominating me because you have to be nominated to put on that list.
Yep.
So
well, that's because you have.
But I think if you place top 3, you're already on it the next year.
No, you're not.
No?
Nope. Because I won number 1. And whenever a nomination started, the first 5 people were on there. I was not one of them.
I thought we got put. Never mind.
And I was number 1 in 2019, so I figured I would automatically be there, but I wasn't. So. You have to type. You have to type that business in there,
right?
And I mean,
I also feel like it could be just me, but like I've had somebody say it too. Like the nominations and the voting confuses them the way it's gone about. They thought nominating was voting for that person.
No, it's sense. It's like the awards.
Mm-hmm.
You want to, you find out if there are enough people that care about that business to see them in a top 3 situation. So it's kind of like, I believe she should come up for an award, so I want to nominate you for that award.
Right.
But then when you make the top 3, then it's to find out who's number 1. Or I know it's a top 5.
Isn't it top? Yeah.
It's top 5, and then you go from there. And only 3 people get awards. I think that's good.
Right.
I mean,
I agree.
It's better than.
Well, how would they have ever known about me or any other home baker or you without being you know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you this: the guy that had dropped off his Dodge Ram actually Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when was that? That was yesterday. No, it was Thursday. He dropped it off. He dropped it off Thursday. He came a week ago, and he's like, "Oh, I did all this research and everything." He went to that book. He was like, who are the best in town?
Right.
That's what I like. Because if you say you want the best, then go where people are voting for best.
Right.
I hate to say, you know, some people don't know about it, but I think the Times of Acadia spread that award is everywhere. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows about that when it's voting time. But he went to that book and he said he found his carpenter from there.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he found me from there.
That's awesome.
And that's why he did it. He said, I just went to whoever was number 1. He goes, that's it. He goes, because that says enough about that business if people will vote. And I said, yeah, and get this. They have to vote every day.
Yeah. Yes. So, and I think that's what when I first did it, you know, it was confusing because when you go and that person is nominate, you nominate. So I guess people thought,
oh, she's already there.
Yeah.
You don't do it every day.
Right.
I think
that's what is confusing is when you nominate, you still have to nominate every single day.
And that's why when I asked you when an award is better than a testimonial, because the way that system is set up.
Well,
a testimonial, that's one thing that went up.
Right.
But for somebody to grab their phone every day, go to that link
you're right.
and click vote, that says enough.
I guess maybe because I've never had somebody come up to me and say, hey, I found you because of the award, or I found you because of Times of Acadiana.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've had more, oh, hey, I found you for cookies, but also, hey, you won awards? Excuse me.
No, sneeze, girl.
I'm very loud. It's not.
I scare people when I sneeze.
But so I get more people saying, oh, I heard you from so-and-so.
Yeah, but the referrals, nothing will beat a referral. It really won't. But I promise you, when I compare, I used to worry about testimonials so much. But then you have your competition leaving bad reviews.
Well, and Facebook,
and stuff like
Facebook also got rid of the stars. Did you notice that?
You still have a rating, though. You still have a...
but it's not like remember how it used to have the stars? I liked the stars. It's different. You leave reviews.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's recommendations. You're right. You're right. Your recommendations. You've been well. I still don't. I think that anybody can do that.
Mhm.
You can get Mama and all these other people to write stuff
Right.
for you to support you, and it makes it seem like you're great. I see that within my industry.
Mhm.
They just get all their friends. They have more friends than I do. I literally don't have as many friends as most people. So, but that voting,
Mhm.
my clients,
You're right.
when they get on there and every day they're voting, that speaks way many volumes.
You're right.
Because you're taking time out of the day to go,
Well-
I think he's better than everybody else.
And I think that's the point where I can't wrap my head around I don't remember who I was with top 3. I know it's been Poop Arts and Kellers.
And Poop Arts, boy. Poop Arts
Well,
got their roots in this whole
I was going to say, it's
area.
hard for me to wrap my head around. I'd have to look back and see, because the first year I was number 2 and the past 2 years I was number 3, which is fine, because number 3 to me, I'm with 2 bakeries. One of them has been here for 100 years.
Yeah, well
Like,
established
What?
brick and mortar businesses. That
Right.
says a lot about you as a person of quality.
It's just so hard to wrap my head around that. Crap, I made it to the top 3 with 2. Like, I may not have as big of a customer base, but that just goes to show me I've had people that are like, oh, I vote for you every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I appreciate that. Thank you. You
Mhm.
know, you don't have to take your time, but I do appreciate that. But it's my people who are so loyal and just just love what I do and what I provide for them.
I'm one of them.
You are.
For
you know?
sure. I mean,
Same with me. You know,
it's first of all, looking at it speaks enough. Then whenever you've turned me from I don't like sugar cookies
right.
to
Oh
I'm
my God,
grabbing
I
them
need
and
one.
eating them
Right.
in my shop.
Right. And
Um,
it's also, I mean, look at what we've done for your business. The cookies that I do for you, it's also promoting. And that's another thing I'm trying to get out there for businesses. I've done cookies for Richard Sausage. I've done some I do some
That,
almost monthly
the-
LHC group.
that was even though it was such a basic cookie, it was just so pretty though.
And it's their logo. I can do logos. I've done some was it the produce place? I've done some with
Kevin Guidry's?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
I've done that. I've done a lot of logos.
Oh my God, Kevin Guidry's. She's doing vegetables. That's a carrot.
I painted their logo. I hand painted their whole logo with all the fruits and vegetables on it. So it's like, that's another thing too. It's like, if you want to promote your business, treats are a perfect way, but you're also advertising you want cookies with your phone number on it. Like, the options are endless.
Yes. I think you said it earlier. What makes anybody stand out are these little details.
It is.
And I promise you, because I put a card in the maintenance kit and everything like that. This is who I got the cookie from. And this is the only person I'd recommend. But people remember that.
Yeah.
I am really into the details. And that is what gets me. Because even though it's done by hand and everything,
Right.
it's just like, holy shit. You are paying attention to what you're doing.
I try. And then there's sometimes I feel like I wish I could do more, but I also have to step back and remember that was a small cookie. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, there's sometimes I wish I can, you know, but I've also learned what I can do, you know, what's better to be done other ways. You know what I mean? It's learning.
I got bunny paws.
Some little bunny balls.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted because I'm playing with the cookies. Let me put them bastards back up in there.
But-
Yeah, I mean, I just think, though, that closes up something I asked you.
Yeah.
The award being more important
Yeah.
than the testimonial, because you
And-
have that loyal
Yeah.
following that proves that what you do, that pride you take in this,
Right.
pays off.
Right.
That is what I wanted to get to, is that it pays off.
Right.
And I hate to say it, that's when I become a needy person, because I have to have that type of feedback. I have to know that I'm worth
Right.
something for somebody.
I guess my feedback, let's say this year, or if I don't ever place again, that's fine with me, because my feedback is the multiple messages I get daily
Mm-hmm.
asking to place an order,
Mhm.
or so-and-so referred me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I guess where that's with the award for me, don't get me wrong, I am very honored to have placed top 3, like I said, with 2 other bakeries. I'm the only home baker.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I wish they would do a separate
home baking
a
stuff,
home
yeah.
baking one, or like I mentioned, decorated cookies, because that's such a huge thing right now. But I understand. Because it's also you're comparing me to 2 bakeries that do king cakes. I don't do king cakes, or do certain things that I don't do.
Yeah, don't they do they do like breads, and then they think they
Right.
do like
some do
Jewish stuff.
kolaches, some do
Yeah.
like boudin. Oh my god, boudin king cakes are so good. But you know, you have
I've never had a boudin king
oh my
cake.
god,
What the fuck is that?
It's boudin. And so I had one a few years back. I think I was pregnant, and they actually put syrup. You have the option of putting like syrup on
Like the
top.
cane syrup or something?
It
Like
was
the
steamed syrup.
oh shit.
Lord, it was so good. Made my mouth water. It was so it was the king cake breading with boudin inside.
Mm-hmm.
They had like bacon bits on, like not bacon bits, but actual bacon on top.
Mm-hmm.
And you like put the steamed syrup.
Could you make sure you tag me when they do that again? Because I missed
I'm
out.
gonna have to look. I don't.
They probably don't do that year
A
round.
few more bakeries do it now. I see.
Yeah, but they don't do it year round.
I don't think so. But when I see it, I'm gonna tell. Oh, it was so good.
You've
Now
got
that
to.
was 6 years ago. I think I had one.
Really?
Somebody brought it to us as a gift when I worked in the salon. It was so good.
Damn.
But so it's like things like that. No, I don't do things like that. So it's I'm honored, so honored to be placed, you know, with those people. But at the same time too, it's kind of like we each do our own amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there, like I said, there were a lot of home bakers I saw last year. I was telling Tim earlier, excited me. Like you would think I'd be like, oh no, but I was excited because I know there's also one person, she does amazing cheesecakes. I don't do cheesecakes.
That's my favorite type of cake right there.
So good. So it's, but you have her in the not home baker, you have her in the bakery, but it's like
And she won't get a chance.
And there's so many people. There's, you know, I know a few people, like when Millie was here, and I know somebody else who does cakes, but she stopped because of COVID. Millie moved. So it's like,
Remember that? And that's a client of mine. That's his wife.
mm-hmm.
Remember her? And I tagged you, and we all were in a little thread because she was doing cakes. I don't see her doing that anymore.
No.
And her cakes were just kind of like Millie's. It was extravagant. And,
Beautiful work.
and then I was like, oh my God. Candace wouldn't need to do cakes anymore. Candace can focus on them fire-ass cookies she does. Not taking away your ability to do cakes, because, I mean, you do fucking great cakes, too. It's just cookies. I'm sorry. I'm biased.
I don't know if I could ever stop the cakes because I have so many people who I have so many reoccurring people who come for their kids or anybody.
Mm-hmm.
They refuse to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I understand that. You know, I've mastered my recipe for cakes. So it's like I don't know if I could ever step away from cakes. My buttercream, that's all made from real butter.
Is it the dog here? I vacuum.
Mm-mm.
Oh well. All right, let's stop patting you on the back. Let's talk about something
else.
Let's talk about
what
is
baby.
Let's see. We talk about all kinds of stuff that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
What have you decided not to do? What is one thing that you were requested and you were like, nope, not doing that?
There's the I don't know if you've seen
You said
it.
you don't like politics, so I'm pretty sure that you stay away from all political things.
I will make them. If somebody requests politic cookies, I'll make it for them. Not necessarily saying it doesn't matter who I am for. I won't post it.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. If you come to me saying I want these cookies, yeah, I'll make that for you.
Yeah, but do you have any kind of beliefs that are gonna say I'm not doing that type of cake or cookie or whatever?
I try not. I don't put my beliefs into somebody else's. So, like, I know there were some bakeries years back that wouldn't do cakes, wedding cakes.
Oh, the guy was in the news again. He's not doing a
shut up.
transsexual's cake or something like that. And
How,
it's like,
you know what?
he's the same one that didn't want to do the gay marriage cake and all.
See, and I'm not going to put. Which I'm not saying I don't believe, because equal love is love, whatever. We know I support. I'm not going to say just because you believe in something I don't, that doesn't mean. Now, if it's something hateful, no, I'm not going to do anything hateful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do anything bullying, things like that. Now, I've never had a request for that.
Those are common sense things. You don't you don't make a freaking Hail Hitler fucking cake.
Correct. I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm not also going to put like my political beliefs. Like if you believe in something I don't believe in, or you support somebody, whatever, I'm just not posting, especially political stuff. I'm not posting that on my page because I'm not having arguments.
So that lets me know that you don't get stuck in that polarizing vortex of, there's only one side to everything.
Because there's not. I mean, I'm just not putting, because after seeing all the fights after this past year on social media, I don't want any of that negative energy in what I do.
What's your social media feed look like? That's what I wonder. You know how many people complain about, I keep seeing this on my mom's one of them, where she keeps taking people off of her news feed, and I'm like, Mom, you know what? You control that. You can actually manipulate that news feed to show you what you want to see. I literally open mine and I don't cross my eyes or get upset about anything, because if I realize that one person is instigating or whatever,
I can unfollow.
I can unfollow.
Yeah.
I can unfriend them. I mean, or I can reach out, have a discussion with them to try to understand. But if they don't want to have that discussion, then that's when I run into the okay, unfriend, unfollow. Yeah. You control it. So I don't understand how people can't do that.
The only thing I can say that's hateful that probably pops up on my news feed now is maybe KTC comments. But after this past year, like you said, I controlled what I see or saw, because it got to a point to where it was depressing. Seeing everybody just be so ugly to one another. Yeah. We're all in the same boat, man. Like, we're all trying. Mm-hmm. Why we gotta be so ugly? And just because somebody believes something else, now unless somebody's trying to force hateful views on you, then I'm not about that. But I don't know. It's
thing is though, okay, so you probably come from a generation where you can talk to the person that has something different than you, right? I think
it depends on the person, I find.
Yeah, but do you remember when you were a kid? Oh, I like this. I don't like that. I like this, and blah blah blah. But then you still got along, and you still walked down the road, or you did whatever, and you played. Right. Now it's, I don't like this. I'll never talk to you again. It's like, where the fuck did that come from?
And that's the thing, is where we have to learn and grow from where we've been. We have to realize not everybody has the same paths or have walked the same path, but we also need to sit back and look. Just because we walked a certain path doesn't mean somebody else walked that path. And that's where we need to sympathize, or just put yourself in somebody else's shoes. That's my biggest thing, is step back and realize just because your way is a certain way, it's not like that for everybody. Mm-hmm. Just because something happened for you, to you, about you, doesn't mean it's like that for that person. Just because something may be easy for you doesn't mean it's easy for someone else. That's my thing, is I sympathize and I empathize with people.
I was going to say it's more empathy than it is. Sympathy is,
I just learned out what an empath is, and apparently that's me. Like, I didn't know about all that. But ever since I was a kid, growing up, I'll never forget, there were people picking on a little girl. And I mean, I was a little girl too, but I couldn't do that. I made friends with her. They made fun of her for stinking. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't be mean to her. Come to find out, she was being abused. So it's like, here y'all were making her life 50 times more difficult, not knowing what her home life was. And at that age, I didn't know anything about that. Yeah. It wasn't until I was older, my mom told me about all that. And it's like, but even then, you have to realize, just because it's, like I said, it's one way for you doesn't make it that way for everybody. Everybody lives different lives. Just because something is easier for you.
Well, the problem is everybody's worried about what everybody else is doing.
Correct. I mean, that's what I don't understand.
This is how I've always been. Before everything blew up and got crazy, I'm listening. Will not worry about things that do not directly affect my livelihood. Correct. I mean, even with everything that happened last year, with all of the chaos, and I lost a good friend last year because he said I wasn't taking COVID seriously enough. Because of course he lived in Chicago. They shut Chicago down. Right. It was one of the first cities that got locked down, and then and the rest of the country started doing the same thing. But he said I didn't take it serious enough because he had a very good job that he just got, and of course he got furloughed, and he didn't know it was going to go on, and he was waiting for unemployment. So everything was spiraling out of control, and maybe I I think sometimes I do say it. I say it all the time. I come off as an asshole. Most people are like, no, Tim, you don't. I just feel I do because the way people respond to certain things that I say. He responded to me saying it's gonna get better over time. We don't know what's going on.
But I don't feel like that's not taking it seriously. I just feel like that's more of an optimistic view.
Well, I just couldn't spiral out of control
Correct.
like him.
I was about to say, you can't sit there and be pessimistic about it.
He was upset that I was not as hysterical as him. And then he said, no, but then he said this. He goes, but they haven't shut y'all down. I was like, and even if they do, I work by myself. I'm going to go to my shop.
My husband's job was the first one to be let go.
Yeah.
Right before St. Patrick's Day, Festival International, he was getting ready to work that.
Mm-hmm.
Every concert, once it started with Kiss, everything before we were even quarantined, before our kids were even out of school, before any jobs were being sent home, he was. So it's like, it happened to everybody. And it's not that I'm dismissing what happened to him. I fully can sympathize with that.
Well, it wasn't just that. Just think. He was mad because even though my choice, he was mad because my choice was, he said, if they shut your city down, you're going to feel the same way. I was like, I'm not going to freak out.
Right.
I can't control what the city decides to do.
What are we going to do?
I'm not happy about it.
Day by day.
Yeah. Guess what? Bills are going to be late.
So with all the rest of the country.
But the whole fucking world did this.
Correct. I was going to say, it's not even just the country. It was the world.
I kind of felt that he was in a narcissistic pattern of, I'm important, my world's crumbling, and you're not wanting to support my. I said, you know what, dude? I was like, if you get kicked out of your apartment, you can come back to Louisiana. He's from Louisiana. I was like, I got a spare room. You can stay with me for free. I was like, if you fall on hard times, I'm not coming back to that fucking state. I was like,
but see, at that point, though, how are you supposed to help somebody who's in that state, you know?
But he was just mad that I wasn't getting irate and angry about everything. I was like, I can't control it.
You can't, but that's where we learned as well. Maybe, you know, us being laid off before I did all this put us in the state of mind. This is all material stuff. It can all be replaced.
Well, I wouldn't want to lose my stuff.
No, but it was to a point, you know, with the oil field when it got so bad. You know, that is where he chose to not be an oil field anymore because it was too wishy-washy. We were doing amazing. And it got to a point to where we couldn't even afford groceries. You know, it was so bad. I was pregnant. You know, we had decided to have another kid because everything was going amazing. And then 4 months into my pregnancy, our whole world completely flipped. But whereas last year with quarantine, not that we didn't take it seriously, because let me tell you, we took it serious. I was disinfecting every shoe every time I came back from the store. I was one of the first people to wear a mask. I looked goofy in Walmart because nobody else, which now
you can still say
I'm
that now.
I'm gonna be the only one wearing a mask, and I am a masker. You know, if it's gonna help 50% to help save some, I'm gonna wear it.
And don't freak out. We can't wear a mask and do the podcast at the same time, but we're still freaking safe.
Also, we're both vaccinated.
Oh yeah, we believe in that too.
How Stephen asked that nurse, she's like, she goes, which arm you want the vaccine in? He said, which one reads the chip better? You know, I have been hearing a little bit of like beeping.
Well, I mean, I just got a tick.
My tail didn't grow in yet. I'm waiting for my tail.
Oh, you could be Super Saiyan.
I'm waiting for my horns.
Oh, well, we already got that. I got mine. I got to clip them bitches every morning.
So, but no, it's just, I feel like that kind of prepared us because we looked on the bright side. We took it day by day. I got time off and I got to spend it with my kids every single day. Now, granted, being home so much did mess with us because when we go around people, it freaks us out now. But it's take it day by day. It's all learning. This is something nobody's ever been through. Nothing that I can go to my parents for advice for because they didn't go through this.
That's the thing I tried to explain to him was there's no reason to freak out because the world is experiencing this.
Correct.
I can understand if all the cards are stacked against you and you just keep getting knocked down and it's happening to you. But the world, millions of people. And they still don't have jobs.
My husband, you know, like we're still waiting for that. You know, it's been a whole year and every concert that's something, you know, people need to think about. You know, all these people saying they want to go to concerts. You know how many people it takes to set up these concerts?
Well, I believe people understand because this is a festival.
Yes and no.
This state is a festival. What do you mean no? This is a festival state. People know what it's.
Oh no, but I
what it
don't.
takes
No,
to-
no, no. That's not what I mean. When people go to a concert, I don't think people really truly understand the amount of people behind the screens who put on.
No. It's
How
not
many
the
people
fact
it
that
takes?
it's not the fact that they don't know. They don't care.
How many jobs were lost? Oh yeah, Taylor Swift can't perform, but it's not just Taylor Swift. It's not just all these concerts. It's not just Kiss. It's hundreds of employees that were supposed to be setting that up who depend on concerts, festivals, on
What's their job?
corporate events. Correct. And so like I understand. Let's get back the right way. Let's not I say not rush, but let's not do this wrong to where we end up back to square one.
Do you think that we could have done it better?
Absolutely. It could have been
I think
you don't even have to finish. It could have yeah.
the best way that it could have been done was everything shut down. Do you think
Look
it was
at the other countries.
Do you think it was fair for Walmart to keep working and keep going, and Target and Wendy's and McDonald's? All these big money making corporations got to keep going, but where were the police and the fire marshals going? To the little mom and pop shops and arresting and shutting them down and stuff like that. That is where they did it wrong.
Look at the other countries. Was it France?
South Korea.
You can only go. You had to have a pass to go to the store. You had to stay in your house. Guess what? There are other countries who knocked it out quick.
Yeah.
You know? And it's all about just taking into consideration. Yeah, you may not want to wear that mask, but also if you can save one person, because there's asymptomatic people. You may not know you have it.
No, that's the majority of the problem. Is
correct.
Most of the people that are actually all of the people that are healthy can still contract it, and they don't even know it
now,
and give it to somebody that.
Get this.
What?
I think I told you my grandmother. She was just in the hospital. A nurse was talking to my aunt. The major thing that they're seeing, or they were seeing, it wasn't. So they had a lot of people in the hospital from COVID. But what's starting to happen
and
now...
And I'm going to say this to everybody that's listening and watching. We're not medical professionals,
nope, not at all.
But we're getting our hearsay from medical professionals.
Yes, this was a nurse from the ICU. And, he was speaking to us. He said that a lot of what they're starting to see now is...
Do you know the water?
No, I have it right here.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it.
I have it down there. Is what they're seeing is the repercussions from having COVID.
Oh yeah,
so
the damage from the heart, the
correct.
damage.
Well, somebody who had it and is okay, and he said it's not just elderly people. It was some young people in there as well. Liver damage, heart failure, lungs, and so it's like 6 months later, and their organs are starting to fail.
Yeah, but we still won't know because guess what?
Correct.
The first year just passed.
Right.
We're going on year 2, and guess what they
have?
That's
what I wish people would understand. This is new. This is new for the people who make the vaccines. This is new for doctors. This is new for science. This is new for everybody. They don't know the long-term effects because this is new. Look at like when the flu came out. The Spanish flu. Is it the Spanish flu? Yeah.
Do you like the people that are like, you notice how we ain't got no flu, so this coronavirus? I was like, hold on, wait a minute. It's because of coronavirus that there's no. And how do you think a flu passes? Through social interactions. And guess what we've been doing? We've been staying away from each other. Correct. So of course you won't have any flu cases.
And I think about it just this way with my kids at school. So the year before last, when my kids were in school, people send their kids to school sick.
Oh God, yes, because
so
they don't want to fucking deal with them.
No, and it ends up. Aiden he had just gotten the flu shot.
Microwave.
I was surprised he just eaten one. So
I've been staring at, but I want to microwave it.
Me and the way it fell, me and Jackson got our flu shots. If you don't believe in that, that's fine. This is we got our flu shots. I have asthma. I'd like to take precautions. We got it a few weeks before. Aiden got it a week after. He went to school. Somebody sent their kid to school knowing their kid had the flu. It was my son's desk mate. He got the flu. He came home one day, ran a slight fever, and that was it. But he had to stay home from school for a week. Now, went back to school. Same desk mate got sick with strep. My kid got strep. So the reason why, especially, and then what happens is these kids spread it to adults. What happens is right now, they're separated. They're wearing masks. They're all these precautions. Nobody's going to get the flu.
Yeah.
If precautions are,
And what I don't like is you got the conspiracy theorists are like, oh, but this is on a this is on a microscopic level and blah blah blah. So a mask can't stop a microorganism and blah. It's like, okay, stop. You understand?
It travels on.
It's basically, you know, from your droplets and I mean
research.
And the more precautions you have, the less chances.
But what if
there are
that
to spread
knocks
it.
it down? What if it knocks down the chances by 50%? That's half a chance that.
I use the example of the seatbelt in the car. I don't like
Correct.
seatbelts,
Correct.
but they put seatbelts in place because it proved
Mhm.
to reduce deaths in car accidents because it stops you from bouncing around in the fucking vehicle.
Or flying out the window.
Yeah.
You
So, and I mean, mind you can see the people that did the cold weather,
Mhm.
you know, thing, just showing how vapors and stuff escape your mouth, and even just
But that also isn't the same thing.
what?
That's not the same thing. That has to do with, that's not the particles. That's not showing your spit particles flying out.
Yeah, but it just shows how the mask stops things from
Oh,
going.
oh no, I thought you meant the one there was some people who were like in Alaska because it was so cold outside.
No.
When
no.
they were breathing out, they had a lot of what's it called when hot air
Vapor.
Yeah, vapor.
Yeah.
But it's not. And people are like, oh, you see, the masks don't do anything, but that's not the same. You can't.
No, I'm just talking about the demonstration of how things out of your mouth and your nose are
Correct.
stopped in the mask.
They had a scientist doing it on petri dishes and showing. He would put a petri dish and cough, and then come back and show with and without the mask the bacteria on it.
Yeah, I really can't stand the conspiracy theory people because they're
My
looking
thing is,
up
it's
the
just
wrong shit.
spreading the false information. It makes it very harmful. Is the best way for me to put it. It makes spreading false information spreads it. It makes it harmful when all you have to do. You see somebody posting something on Facebook and you're like, I wonder if that's true. Google it.
Find a medical professional. That's it. You stop right there. Oh, I have to say, I'm part of a lot of Husky groups because of the rescue. So I normally don't comment, but I'm so tired of this. People that don't understand Huskies can't stand this. Oh my God, they're showing a picture of the Husky and the furs coming out.
Right.
Oh my God, I don't know what's going on. Bitch, did you not research what a Husky does? It sheds. It's blowing out its coat.
Don't they shed because they have such a thick coat?
That's not what set me off. That does set me off too. It's the repetitive, stupid questions of what is this coming off my? It's this fucking undercoat, you stupid bitch.
Right.
Nonetheless,
Which I would think it would be common sense.
yeah, especially if you get the breed, but so many people don't understand breed. Nonetheless, this lady said, "I went to the vet and he said I should fix my Husky at 6 months old. But what do you guys think? Why the fuck are you asking people on social media
If you go to another
a
vet,
medical thing? If you question what that one vet said,
get a second opinion from another vet.
go visit every other fucking vet in the start calling vets."
Yeah.
I have a friend, she's a vet tech.
Mhm.
Hopefully she's gonna be a vet one day. Jenny. She has this saying, if you don't ask the medical professional,
Right.
then shut up. Don't ask anybody then. Because you're gonna get all this advice from these fucking social
Right.
media people and you're gonna end up killing your dog.
That's why I got out of mom groups.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. Yeah. Well,
And then my thing is, we should be uplifting other moms. It gets very
competitive.
harmful. Again, it gets very some people think their way is the only way.
Do you think that's just those religious people? You don't have to answer that. I'm gonna say I'm gonna just comment on it,
It's not,
and I believe
because I've
it.
seen it from everywhere though. It's little things. It's being a mom. It's little things. Unnecessary comments about how to feed your baby. Should it just matter that the baby's fed? Like, does it matter how my baby is being fed?
Once again, it's people worried about things that don't directly affect their life.
Guess what? It doesn't matter. Your baby can be formula fed and you'll get the comments, oh, well, you need to breastfeed. You breastfeed your baby, you'll get the comments, why aren't you feeding formula? You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
That's why you stay off social media for medical
Correct.
advice.
That's why I got out of all those,
And anything COVID-19 related, I wish
Mhm.
social media would have just blocked it because
And it's not that for me, it's not that it's hindering a freedom of speech.
No. Your freedom of speech is being able to go outside and talk to people about anything you want to talk about. Social media is this new designed
Correct.
way to communicate with people far away that you don't fucking know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the First Amendment excludes social media. Social media can do what the fuck it wants. It can block people and shut things down
Right.
because that's not a necessity. Social media does not silence you. Silencing you would be putting you in jail for
Right.
it. So
And I feel, like I said, sharing satire things, it's harmful because a lot of people believe
well,
some of these
unfortunately, it's 'cause-
photoshopped and edited things. You know, that's, for me, it's like, just do your research before you share something. When it is highly photoshopped, it's 95% of the time very wrong.
yeah. Well, see, and that's another reason why I asked you when you did your research on, when you
Mhm.
said I did research. I was
Right.
wondering what kind of research you did because so many people, they go to the BillyBob.com.
Oh, sometimes I'll make myself sick
and
with
the-
research.
Oh, excuse me. And they'll go to these weird,
Right.
askewed places to get information. And I'm like, okay, where are the sources, where are the citations of where they got their information
Right.
from? If there's no citations and sources that lead back to some kind of professional that doesn't have any kind of damaging
Right.
information, a damaging record or reputation, then okay, you can go, okay, well, this is one I can trust. Let me compare it to what everybody else is saying.
You just have to kind of think about it. Remember that game as a kid we played telephone?
Okay, so you might have to describe it because I don't remember that.
Let's say you have like a line of kids. The first one tells something to somebody, whispers it in
Oh yeah, that turns
So-
into the rumor mill is what we
Correct,
called it because it
correct.
just turns into a rumor
That's
eventually.
basically, just do your research. Because if not, you're getting information. Somebody saying my cousin's baby sister's uncle's nephew said know somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's not information. That's
Yeah.
rumor mill.
That's what turns into that whole spin thing. It's like you said at the beginning, the truck is red, and then all of a
Correct.
sudden it's like the truck looked red,
and then at the
next
end, it
person
ends up with
is-
the fish jumped out the ocean.
Yeah, it turns.
Like-
Well, it turns into how much I hate the truck because they don't know how to build them, and I was just like, wait a minute, I said the truck was red.
Right. That's why for me, it's go straight to the source. Do your research. You know,
Yeah.
if you're questioning, just do your research.
Well, majority of the time there's no source because they
Cor-
made that shit up.
yeah, that-
you know
I was
that's
gonna say-
another problem we have is the
And then
the
that's
made-up
where it's
stuff.
like the internet's almost too, because you can't take every website as
Yeah. So how do you feel about your kids having access to all this? Because you have how many kids?
Two.
Okay,
Two.
so one of them is coming of age where he's
He's
probably
10. He's about to be 10.
got a phone and everything like
No.
that. Oh, whoa.
We don't. Mm-mm.
Oh.
They have iPad. No, I say iPads. We call them iPads. They have tablets.
So you telling me you're not one of these moms that I need to make sure I have contact with him at all times?
He's with me all the time. But when he's not, I mean, now this is the thing. So I understand when I was younger, we had home phones so we could speak to our friends, but this is how we're going about it right now. They have their tablets. My older one does have a little bit more freedom than my younger one, but it is monitored. He has Facebook Messenger has a kid's
Yep.
Facebook Messenger where we can only allow certain people. So he does have a little girlfriend.
It's gonna happen.
Well, they say they're best friends. They are best friends. They call each other.
Well,
They
that's
said,
where it starts off. We're
well,
best friends.
this is what they said. We're boyfriend and girlfriend, but we're best friends until we could date when we're older.
Mm.
Because they don't want to hold hands. No, they don't even want to like.
Oh, it's still-
they don't even want to hug or hug. They're like, eh.
Oh, it's still, ew, you're
But
a girl. Ew, you're a boy.
Yes, but they are such best friends that they get along so well. We brought him to the World War II Museum for his birthday. They loved it. They were like at everything. It was so cute.
Mhm.
But so he does have a few friends on there, but I can monitor everything. So they video chat all the time. Like all you hear is them giggling all the time. I love it. I set the time limits. He is limited. Like I have Google search for him because he loves history. So I did allow that for him, but yet I can see everything. My youngest, that little thing right there, he loves YouTube, but I have a YouTube type of app to where I only allow, it's only like 5 channels, and I only allow, like I look and I know what channels.
They do have a YouTube Kids too, though.
It's something like that. So it's like 5, but I think it was one of them when Aiden was younger.
Mm-hmm.
It was still allowing certain things that weren't for kids. So when I found this one for Jackson, there's like 5 people he subscribed to, and he could only see their videos.
Mm.
And this app is more strict on what videos or what YouTube channels they allow.
Now, do you do this because you're scared to see? You're scared for him to learn something before you teach him?
That and remember all that stuff that was going around? They had that scary stuff on YouTube, like targeting kids.
Never heard of that. It's probably because I don't have any kids.
Yeah, well, there was some people who were dressing up as Spider-Man or like certain characters, and they were doing like very grown-up acts. But when you clicked on it, it was like
porns or something.
It was like very very vulgar, but it was like very inappropriate for kids. But they made it look very kid friendly. But then they also had kid videos, like Peppa Pig was like killing something. Like they were taking all these animations and redoing them. They had people dressing up and being. There were some things that just kids don't need to be introduced with. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, well, if I could take a step, it's either because for a while there's a game called Roblox. I don't know if you've heard of it. Mm-mm. It's a little game. It's like these people, like they're like block characters, and they can build worlds, and they can go in there and they can play with other people. But I have it set up on their Roblox. They can't chat with other people. The only people they can chat with is their 1 or 2 friends who have it as well.
Oh, okay.
But they had in Roblox, some people were doing some kind of way. They hacked into Roblox and they were doing some very inappropriate things. These games are targeted for kids. So what happened was we deleted Roblox for a while, and then what the creators ended up finding and being able to step ahead of people that do that. It's just more of like there were some scary things going on with YouTube. They would somebody edited this. I could find it out. It was some kind of figure that was made. It was a scary looking woman, but it was like something that was made, I think, in Japan. I might be wrong. I forgot what they called her. But somebody had it going around that she would come and get the kids. There were people.
Oh, that's Bloody Mary, ain't it?
No, it was because when I saw her face, it was creepy. I'm gonna have to find it and show you later. It was very creepy. And my oldest, he's me. And he was too young. And I was like, he doesn't need those kind of nightmares. So it's like, I'm going to step ahead. There's things that kids don't need to know about. Yeah, let them be innocent. Let them be kids.
Because there are a ton of kids that they get a phone. I'm just curious because, you're a parent, you've had 2 kids. So it's kind of like you're aware of what is on the internet. And me, I always wonder if I had a kid, they wouldn't have a phone. They wouldn't.
Right.
It's like you wouldn't have a phone until you're 18 because guess what? You need to pay attention to certain things in life, like school, your ability to critically think. Right. And I think the phone enables, it interrupts the ability to critically think.
Now, my thing is, too, it got to a point, because both my kids did it, when they get, like, obsessed with the tablet. Mm-hmm. I take it away. I take it away until they stop asking for it. Mm-hmm. And then I did that for my oldest, because there was one point I saw it was starting to, I was like, this is too much. Take it away.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to have it during the weekdays. Now, sometimes it depends if they're doing good in school and they say it's raining outside, because that's my new thing. They're older now. I want them playing outside. And I say that I live in a neighborhood, so it was very wishy-washy. I don't let them just go play in the front. You know?
Not like what we did?
We can't.
You walk outside and you're just gone until sunset?
Well, and then there was also, how they have like that sex offender you can see around you.
Oh, y'all got those?
Too close for comfort. Oh. They're gone now, but that's why when they were younger, I didn't just let them play outside. Oh, okay. I might be overprotective, and I get that, but I'm also not gonna.
Well, you're aware though.
And also, also growing up as a kid, I'm aware of.
But you're not a helicopter parent, are you? Okay, please don't.
No, because now, I have a 10-year-old. He's playing outside. His brother plays outside with him. But that was my thing. I want their first choice is to be outside, not to be on the tablet. I want them to be at home, and instead of going straight for that tablet, drawing, because my oldest, they both are. They both draw amazing.
Or to complete tasks that they need to complete.
Correct.
Take care of business before they start playing and having too much fun and stuff like that.
And so, because I'll notice even now, my oldest, he'll listen to his music while he's drawing, which I'm totally fine with, because that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be like, no, you're not having a tablet, because it also benefits especially my oldest right now, especially learning.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, he loves history, especially World War II. That's his biggest thing. He loves planes.
I saw those pictures. I didn't know if those were older pictures that
No,
you
that
just reposted, or if that was something that, y'all did recent.
He didn't want a birthday party. He wanted to go to the World War II museum,
Ain't nothing
and
wrong
that's
with
what
that.
we did. And he loved it.
I think those birthday parties and stuff like that's just inconveniencing everybody. It really
And
is.
I wanted him. He's getting to the age to do. Look, if you don't want a birthday party and you want to do something else, let's do it.
Yeah, and really, the birthday is not about everybody else
It's
needing
about-
to cater to you. It's about
Yes.
I'm glad to be alive, and
Right.
I'm gonna do something for myself. That's
And-
kind of how I've always
right.
been.
And with him being so intrigued with planes, I forgot, is it on Disney? I think he watched about Red Tails. I don't know if you've ever heard
Wasn't
of
that
it.
a division of airborne?
It was the African American.
Yeah, because that was before the.
It was World War II.
Yeah, it was not
So-
Tuskegee. I can't remember. Yeah, was it
I don't know
Tuskegee Airmen? Were they a part of that?
I don't know.
Tuskegee
Aiden
Airmen.
would be able to tell you.
We need some history, people.
Now I've watched it. It was amazing. It was a really good movie. It is based off of what really happened. And so he sits there and he's like, they really treated people like that? And I was like, and he's like, just because their skin's different? So it's like, he's getting older and he's learning history and it breaks his heart. So he's obsessed with the movie Red Tail. So he's like, so good. He's probably watched it like 10 times. And he loves the planes. He loves
Hey, that's much better than I want to go on Call of Duty and shoot everybody
Right.
dead.
Right. And I'm all for it, And so when we walked into the museum, they have all the planes, he knows all the name of the planes. I don't. I love history, but he gets into
yeah.
detail.
Well,
we
that's
walk
what
in.
kids are always absorbing
Yes.
everything,
And I want him to absorb.
it's that true
all that.
it's that true innocence that has that wonder towards where they're hyper focused
Right.
on it, and they're just absorbing.
And I want him he's very smart. He's a very smart kid.
Mhm.
That's why I want to, there were things in the museum that he learned about that he couldn't learn, like seeing the artifacts and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
when he walked in and he saw they had a red tail,
Oh,
he had his mask on, but you could see his mouth wide open and he stood there for 5 minutes going, and I was like, that just,
he's living his movie
Oh,
moment is
that
what he was
just-
doing.
and we're scared of heights. Okay. So they have it to where you could go up different levels. So we go up to the second level and you can see the planes better because it's like this big open room. So he's like looking. So let's go up to the next level. But they have it to where the side railings are glass so you can see through. So we're both like, hold my hand. And so like his little girlfriend's in front of me, he's behind me, and we're all like trying to get to the other side. But then once he got to the other side, he's like, oh my God, I'm so scared. But oh my God, that plane's amazing. So
Ah,
it's-
those mixed emotions, they got him confused.
it was so crazy. And he was just seeing, I guess, that red tail in person after watching
Mhm.
all this. Like he's
He's living his fantasy.
yeah. He's just like me. So empathizes with everything and just,
So you think he gets that from you?
oh yeah, he's me as a kid.
What's your husband like? Is he kind of like that too, or is he just kind of more like?
You've seen him.
Yeah, but I haven't interacted with him much. I just know he was happy that the vehicle looked good and stuff like that.
I
And
mean,
he seems like he's a quiet person.
a lot of people assume he's this big asshole, but he's not. He's my big teddy bear, but he stands his ground. He's not going to put up with anybody's.
Yeah, I'm trying to think that I don't think I even had any kind of first impressions. He just seemed like a regular guy to me.
He's this big tattooed bearded dude. I mean, some people
That doesn't
base
mean
opinion-
anything.
but a lot of people assume things.
Do y'all get that a lot? Because
Used
I remember
to.
you told me the story about, well,
Used
your
to.
brother was giving you a hard time about like just hair color and shit like that. So
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
when
that's my
people,
little brother though.
Yeah.
He's gonna always give me a hard time. I'm piercings, that's my brother. That's my whole. We both pick on each other.
oh,
like
and
that.
that makes me wonder. So have you ever had a client that just meets you and they want to, they're talking to you, they have this one vision in their head, and then they meet you and they're like, and then they change their mind. Has that ever
I
happened
hope
to you around
not.
here?
I don't know.
Oh, so you've never had anybody cancel because they see all of that type of stuff. Take it to that type of extreme.
I don't know.
I believe
don't
I
think
had.
so because they all they place their orders online first.
Mm-hmm.
So
See, another
don't
reason
know.
why I embrace
Mhm.
video and everything else now is because I don't want that to happen to me ever
Right.
again, because I had somebody judge me before. And that happened.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I had a discussion with me on the phone and emailed back and forth. Loved the fact that I was working in the oil field and blah, blah, blah. He was a orthodontist in Opelousas. He had a brand new Bentley Continental GT that he wanted done. And I'm offshore. We're talking. I even had phone call conversations. I had the ability to talk on the phone and was all about it. You sound so professional.
You are very professional.
And then, of course, I told him, I said, here's the address, but you don't worry about going there now. There's nobody there. You know, my yard's not tended to. Been gone for 4 weeks. It's going to look like a house from The Walking Dead. I used to always make that joke. And, but
I mean, that's a long time down here to not go without.
Oh.
But I mean, if you think about it, a lot of men or women, whoever goes offshore.
Yeah. You don't want, there's just nobody to tend to.
Correct.
I mean, and I'm a person, I'm always by myself. So, I mean, there's nobody to do certain things. And, you know, he passed by and he judged off of the house. And then it turned into crickets. He sent his wife, and his wife told him, I guess, whatever. And it turned into a cricket situation where they judged off of where they were going. He was all about it until he found out that I was doing it from home. This is not a bad neighborhood or anything like that, but he judged me off of that. Then I've had people where they liked talking to me. It's only happened 3 other times after that. That was a judgment off of where where he was bringing his car. It wasn't a business. It wasn't a shop. That was just kind of I'm not going to do business with somebody because if something happens to my car, he's not going to be able to fix it or whatever.
Which
then the other judgments were where I'm asking you. It turned into this. And they decided not to come to me because of this.
Now, that's where I will say.
And then, guys, I say this. If you listen to audio, it's a skin color.
That's where I fully understand with me being white. I do have a white privilege. There is this, I might get hate for this, but I know, just like I showed you that cookie earlier, I understand that I will never understand. I don't face that. Granted, I mean, I may face, people knowing where I live. I've had people make comments because it's St. Martinville. I'm not in a bad spot. But there's this whole thing I find with other bakers. There are bakers who don't have these not immaculate, but like marble countertops. So they're scared to post pictures or do videos because they don't have this fabulous kitchen like some people who do it as a hobby do, which I understand that, I am not worried. And it's not about clean because I make sure everything's clean. It's about
presentation is what they were worried about.
I don't have a huge home, which is fine. That is our home. Yeah, we love our home.
Your home is not for everybody else.
But
it's for you.
I do understand, but I've also gotten past that. Because if that's the type of customer that's going to come to me to judge my work based off of the value of my home, then I don't want that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I ask. I mean, off of like, because you color your hair. You have the piercing. You have the tattoos. You know what? I may have. I had comments when I was a hairstylist. Yeah, I've had because I've had people now completely different. But when I went to hair school, I did have a teacher and he was from New Orleans. So I learned more about African American hair and ethnic hair than I would have ever learned. And I do thank him for that. I thank my older classmates because going for hair school, you're not taught that. You're taught, correct. You are taught what you need to pass. The only thing you are taught anything about ethnic hair is a relaxer and how to place it. We're not taught anything. And Mr. Edwards, as much as we butted heads, we got along, like he taught me a lot. So, but this is where I completely understood when I left hair school. I don't want to say get judged, but people were hesitant to come to me for a haircut because I was white. But once they learned, I had some of the most loyal and amazing customers that didn't want to go anywhere else. And I completely understand why you would say no or be hesitant. Yeah. Because we're not experience.
Taught,
You're looking for the experience person.
And they know that we are not taught braiding. We are not taught anything. I learned about locks. I learned about so much because of my classmates and because of my teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where also he ended up learning there are some things you can't do to a white woman's hair.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he didn't, I mean, I say that, but he hadn't realized you can't bleach their hair past a certain point. You know, our hair isn't as, say strong, not strong, but some, you know, it's very,
it's thinner.
It can be fragile. It can be, but it also depends because, you know, it just depends on the hair. But there are certain things you can't do to our hair, but it's in that aspect. But to say, I've had people probably turn me down. I have piercings. I have
but not just blatantly where they're like, I'm coming to you. I like you. And then they come, they see you. Because of course they don't see you.
I mean, you know what? We're in 2021. I'd hope nobody would judge me for my piercings and tattoos, because I tell you right now, that's not going anywhere. This is, you know, I was always told it's a phase. It's not a phase, Mom.
Yeah. Well, you know, but you know this area though. This area, these people judge off of.
I also think people
looks
have
and stuff.
I also think people have come to learn this is me. Like this is. I would think. I would hope people see me. And
I'm not bringing it because I have anything against it.
No.
My curiosity, because we've joked about it, stuff like that. So I wonder because it's happened to me.
I feel like that was more of a thing in the past, but I think maybe people especially people who know me, are so used to that if I didn't have, or when I didn't have colored hair, people thought it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Where's your hair?" I'm working too much. I don't have time. But I'm like, you know what? I want my purple hair back. Like,
yeah, well,
you know,
that's kind of good then.
But to be judged off of piercings and hair color is so different than you being judged off of the color of your skin.
But I think it's still the same thing because it's still a prejudice.
I can change what I have. You can't.
Yeah, you're right. But I still think the prejudice is equal. It's still a judgment on somebody because they've done because they're either different. They're either different than you, or they've chose a different path than you. And it's all the same, whether it's through racial or your choice to color your hair. I was just curious because that's a relatable thing for you. Because
I think
you've done something different with your body,
and I think it's to the point now where I'm like, this is who I am. I mean, it's taken me I don't want to say a while to accept myself, but to like, there were points when I was younger, I tried the whole country girl thing. I say country girl. I it just wasn't me. It's not. My whole wardrobe's black.
It's not your personality.
No, it's not. Like, this is who I am. You know, like.
Yeah. We're going to take a break real quick. I got to pee. That's why I like long form podcasts, is because you are going to be yourself eventually. I think them little radio 10-minute interviews, somebody could be the shittiest human being and they seem like the best thing ever.
Well, I also feel like this is more, you have a choice. Like, you can edit stuff out. So you're not putting on like when I did the news thing. Mm-hmm. Cute. But see, I also come from doing like speech and drama in high school, but still doing that news thing and knowing that many people are watching, it's like, huh.
Yep. Well, no matter what though, long form discussions brings out the true nature of a person. And if somebody is trying to really judge who they can trust and want to do business with, they'll know after an episode, you know, oh, I'm going to her because she's just down to earth. She's just like me. She can understand my needs.
Right. And that's why I try doing live videos every once in a while. I want people to ask questions. I haven't done one in a while.
What's so weird though?
But it is weird. It is very weird doing live videos.
When you try to get your audience to engage, for some reason they just don't engage. I don't know how. They like to comment. But when you try to do like a live,
it's
and then
it ends up going silent. And
this area is very weird. It's not the same as like a New York City or a Los Angeles. Everything you see on the TV on the media is not.
Just think about California. Here. You know how many vloggers they have in California. So if you walk around in California, you see somebody with. Yeah, that's normal. But here, you're not going to see that because, like, could you imagine us walking around and be like, "Hey, God," it's
well, kind of like how you said the podcast. Not many people are doing this. Not where they really want to talk with another business person. You know, somebody that's has something going on for them.
I can see why people do this, though.
I do, because I see the value in getting you
Right.
out there. I got I got over 20-something thousand people that follow across all the media
Right.
platforms. I want people to do business with you. I do.
And I mean, I do appreciate, you giving me this platform to do this as well. But I also feel like you deserve recognition for all the work you put into a
Yeah.
podcast.
Well,
you know?
believe it. I believe it'll all happen in the long run.
Yeah.
Sometimes I
And
don't.
this is fine, man. I tried for so long.
So you
Finally
said
got here.
he's wondering if we're still going?
And he's like, "Y'all still going?" I was like, "Yeah."
Oh.
It's just fine. I told him it would take a while.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, not that he's like, "Oh, you knew." No, he's just
no. I didn't think
making
that. It's
sure I'm
just
still alive.
some people don't realize how the time can go so quickly. And I mean, looking at
Right.
the little thing, I was like, I wonder how much time, because
4 hours.
because I got to make sure I got enough room on the little thing here to.
And see, I can see with you doing this by yourself now how hard it would be to be able to do something like this weekly, because I'm sure you have to edit everything and
Well, I'm not as stressed anymore. Well, okay. So with this episode,
Mhm.
I'm not going to be as stressed in making sure it's out by Friday.
right.
If I don't get it by Friday,
No, I was supposed to say put that up when you
Oh, well.
have time.
now mind you, every night I do have free time to edit things and
Right.
stuff like that. Will I have it out by Friday?
Where'd your voice go?
Yeah, I guess I haven't been doing this long enough. I started losing my voice here.
I was like, "Oh, we're whispering now."
But will I have it done by Friday? Yes, I will, because I'm so excited to
That's so
have an episode
Yeah.
again. I really am.
Yeah.
And I have one of the people that ghosted on me. Giving him one more chance,
So the one you told me
because I
about.
love him so much,
Yeah.
though. Because I believe in what he does,
Right.
And he's in Houston, so I'm gonna try
Right.
one more time.
I hope he comes through.
If he doesn't, I don't know how hard it's gonna be for me not to be upset
Yeah.
on another level.
Right.
Because I once again have said I will try again
Right.
for a
Right.
fourth time.
Oh, I thought okay.
Usually strike 3, you're out.
I thought this was number 2. Like I thought this would be his second time. My bad.
No. I don't count.
Yeah.
I don't count COVID excuses.
Right.
I don't count that.
Or-
But there was the first one was
Yeah.
But then I think it was a compounded of a bunch of other little lies, and then it just turned into I don't want to communicate anymore.
And look, me feeling so bad because Pat made an appearance.
You're gonna be on here like Macy Gray.
I could have been talking like this. Breathing all hard. Some guys' cakes
my
cookies
God.
for Candace.
I just could not believe. I can't believe it. It's 3:29. I still got to go to the shop today too. So I'm trying to think. We might end up having to do a part 2. But there is a couple.
I am down to
there's
come back.
Well, I'm gonna say this. Then we'll.
I'll get a new shirt made.
Yeah. Tell them what you said. Somebody thought that was.
My mother. My mother. It says like, let's get big. She's like, oh, people might think that's like, in the sun tanning. And I'm like, no, Mom.
No,
love
it's time to smoke it
I
up.
love her. It's very punny.
Don't you notice the green glitter?
It's punny, man. It's punny.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was fun. She's
And
like,
that was
yeah.
a pun in itself right there. Okay, well, before you go, Candace, what do you think Acadiana needs? Ooh, look, I didn't even switch it. Look at that. See, I can't. That's why I need somebody to help me on the damn podcast, because I can't switch. I start talking, and I'm like, I hit the button. There's going to be many of those moments on
We
here.
need better roads. No, I'm joking.
Well, no, you think
No,
of,
I know.
you think of like the growth. They always say Acadiana's diversity, diversified. And okay, so what do we really? What do you think we kind of really need?
That's a loaded question. That's part 2. No.
I mean, if
It's-
it needs it, did you think about it? But I think it needs a reality check first.
I was about to say, because you know how it's saying, the diversity thing. That's not.
Well, that's false.
Yeah.
That's false.
I feel like a lot of things are said. That's not how it is. I also feel like you said with businesses, there's a lot of it. Like, I understand healthy competition. I get that. But there's a lot of hate.
Oh, yeah.
When somebody else is doing something like you.
Mhm.
But I completely understand. I completely understand. You know, you have to make your business shine and grow, but at the same time too, could you imagine if there was only one doctor? It's like that's, and you know, I'm comparing apples to oranges, but could you imagine if there was only one restaurant?
But you can get a sense of the idea of what you're trying to say.
Right. You can grow on your own personal level. It doesn't mean you have to throw shade and be super hateful towards others.
Like I mentioned earlier, where you leave
Right.
a bad review on your
Right, that's
competition
just
just to be
petty.
shitty.
That's just petty.
And maybe that's why Facebook kind of got rid of that type of
Right.
review system, is because people were reporting.
Could you imagine if people were hating on you or I, or like, you know, especially me in the beginning when I started out, my cookies, I started out just as a hobby. I wasn't selling. Could you imagine if I would have gotten hate from I'm not saying they would do this, but a bigger bakery, then I would have stopped.
I did. I had that happen in 2018. They didn't like me because they were like, that faggot doesn't need to get the business we deserve.
They said that.
And how can you even bring that up? And it was because
Wait, they really said that?
I finally deleted the screenshot of the message that I saw in a group chat amongst some people that were in my industry that found out that I was gay and decided to try to make sure I got no business by spreading it through the car community. So
that's a whole other part too.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I've said it on the podcast a couple times before too, just briefly, but I dealt with that and I never touted the awards then.
I cannot imagine going after some,
Look,
it's so, I can't wrap my head around.
this girl wants to wrap her hand.
I can't wrap my head around bringing that into, that has nothing to do with your business. It has nothing to do with your skills.
That's why even my father understood right then and there. And I understand why he was like he was, because my dad's African American, my mom is Caucasian. Now I understand why he wouldn't tell people his business. Because when I had eventually told my business to one person, and I didn't like tell them,
right.
I allowed them to be on my social media. I invited like hundreds of detailers to be, because I met them at SEMA in 2017 and everything like that. And some of these locals
Right.
around here started meeting some of the newer ones. And I tried doing a good thing. And when I tried to do that one good thing, that's when they all were like, fuck that dude. And then of course one of them said, you know, he's gay, right? He's not even religious and he's none of this and that.
What does that
So they
matter? If you're providing an excellent service, what does that?
They didn't care about that. They just saw me as an outcast. And once again, that's why I feel people don't
I'm sorry
like
that
me.
you have to go through that though. Like it's
Well,
like that.
It sucks. But at that time, I didn't know how to handle that because it had never, in that capacity, had
But
never
it's sad
happened
that you
to
have
me.
to learn how to handle that.
Uh,
It's nobody's. But that's the thing. It's nobody's business.
me and you can say
And
it. We
at
know
the
that.
same time, too, it also that's where, and I understand, and I know you're not, but
Mhm.
like you should never be ashamed of that, or have to be scared that somebody knows that.
I know.
I
But
just,
the
it-
area we live
like that-
in, and I tell David this all the time because David's Cuban.
right.
And then you definitely know David's not from here when he starts talking
Right.
because he's still learning English. And
I have a best friend who's been here since he was 18, and my best friend's husband, and his accent is still super thick.
yeah,
Love him to death. Like one of the best people in the world.
but I have to explain to him though, this area, because
Mhm.
he says, oh, you could be so much more successful if you move away. It's like, nope, I'm not leaving this area because they need more people like me here.
It's almost like letting them win if you move away.
Exactly. And I see a lot of people in just the gay community alone. They don't even have to be African American, mixed, or anything like that. It's just in the gay community alone. They leave this area because of the closed-minded mentality of this area.
Mhm.
You cannot change
The
this
amount
area
of
if you
hate.
vacate it.
But the amount of hate, I mean, I've seen it firsthand, the amount of hate that people get.
And what's it all for? Because it's as if they have no empathy, because what if your child, they don't want their child bullied. They don't want their
No.
child to go through all of that. So what are you teaching your kid? And what if that was happening to your kid? What would you do? You sincerely would not do
No.
that to them. No.
After hearing some stories, though, some people kick their teenagers
Mhm.
out of their homes when they find out that their kid, or when their kid comes out to them. But that's also the fact to me that coming out shouldn't have to be a thing.
Oh my God! Thank you for saying that, because
it's
it's not
true.
anything special, in my
No.
opinion.
It's not that it's not special, but it should just, when did I have to say, hey, mom and dad, I'm straight?
Never.
Never. I didn't, and it's the same thing. Oh, when people say you didn't choose to be gay. My favorite reply is,
Do you think I would
wait.
choose to be hated on as much
Right.
as?
But my
it-
favorite reply is, when did you choose to be straight?
Thank you.
This is a very, I can get very heated about this topic. I mean,
Mhm.
we were talking about it. I just found out recently that it's LGBTQ, whatever, all
Mhm.
that. They're very scared to go to Baker's.
Still.
Yes, because of being turned away. Or there are still, from what I was told, they have to be cautious. There are still bakeries that turn them away once they find
In this
out.
area?
I don't know. That's what I was
Well,
told.
bitches,
I
y'all
don't
can go
know.
to her
Come to
because she
me.
gonna do everything.
Wedding cakes. If you want a wedding cake, I am more than happy. I will not judge you whatsoever.
Mhm.
And I hope I make that aware that everybody is included. Your religion, I won't judge. Your sexual orientation, your skin color, none of that affects me performing in, my cake or cookies, whatever.
Because
And-
that stuff's not hateful. There's
No.
nothing that what somebody else
And
does differently
but
than
like
you.
a wedding cake, like the fact that has to be put in their head, that they're scared a bakery will turn them away when a woman goes for a cake and then they find out she's gonna have a wife and they're like, we're not catering. Oh, nope, sorry. No, you come to me and hey, this is for me and my wife. Cool, let's go. What kind of cake you want?
Yeah.
Like none of that. But the fact that has to be in there, that just, it breaks my heart, because who cares what somebody else is
Mhm.
in their own home? They, how's that one going around? They pay their bills. Their bills are paid.
Yeah, I know.
It's true. Like what does you loving another human do to affect me? Nothing.
Mhm.
Absolutely nothing. Because I know I don't want somebody telling me who I can and can't love.
And once again, it doesn't directly affect your livelihood.
Absolutely.
And if you don't like to be gay, then don't be gay.
It doesn't mean you have to openly hate people, though. Like,
Well,
it doesn't.
no. I'm not agreeing
Right.
with the fact that it should happen, but it's just the reality of how does this area defeat it. And I say you defeat it by not leaving.
Now, I have to say, I grew up with a pretty open family. So my mom has some of the best friends from high school that are gay. We go to the balls and one of her best friends is a drag queen. So it's like, I grew up with more of an openness. And I think I still would have been open if I would have grown up with a closed, that's just how I've always been.
Well, there's an understanding of the world is not about you.
Right.
The world is, we're all breathing this oxygen together, but we all are the fucking same, even though we have
Right.
different personalities. We bleed the same.
Correct.
If I need a heart, if I need a new kidney, guess
Mhm.
what? I might get it from somebody that's completely different than me,
Correct.
from another side of the state or something.
Correct.
And I think people forget all that. They can't think past what they were taught. And these are things that are unlearned. If you were taught that gay
Mhm.
people are wrong, then wouldn't you want evidence that there are some good ones?
And like, my thing is, this all stems back. I don't know if I want to go there. It all stems back to some man-made thing.
I'll
Not
say it.
even-
It's that fucking book called
Well,
the damn
I
Bible.
wasn't gonna say
Has
that.
nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with you.
That too, but that's not really where I was going. Some man-made, just laws were made into place. It's just recently that gay people are allowed to marry, but it's somebody somewhere said, hey, maybe it was somebody who was closeted and didn't want anybody, who knows where it came from, but one
9
person
times
said,
out of 10.
this isn't cool. And then everybody followed that.
Yeah.
Because if you look back in history, way back in the gap, that wasn't.
No, there's a history of just, gay, bisexual, transgender people
Right.
in Roman days.
Mhm.
One of the biggest empires that had been around.
Right.
Even going back to the Egyptian days.
Uh-huh.
So ever since there's been mankind, you can't sit there and make laws to dictate that people need to do this with this specific type
Right.
of person. You can't, because we're all born differently. We're
Well, but
all develop,
look at animals.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically we're more intelligent. I get that. But at the same time, you can't. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think I ever told you about that. That's why I said that real quick, because of that what happened in 2018. So not only was I dealing with the separation.
If I would have known you then, I would have been like,
no, that's okay.
Taking my earrings off. I would have gone and got my ears repierced so I could take them off.
Literally, I was trying to get over the separation that had happened at
Right.
the beginning of the year, and then that happened during the
Right.
summer. So 2018 was a very horrible
And
year.
see, people make comments about things like that, not knowing what that person is going through.
Mhm.
So like here you were, at a lower level.
Oh, and think about this. I'm not one to go like reach out.
Right.
So I battled that shit by myself.
Yourself. Well, now reach out to me because next time.
Well, I'm comfortable talking about it now, but at that time,
It's-
I don't even know how to. There's some emotions I can't convey to people
Right.
because I feel that's a form of weakness.
Right.
I do. That's just how it is. I can't do that because of things in the past where people said, well, that's petty, that's stupid, you shouldn't feel that way. And it wasn't my parents. It was just people that I knew. Past relationships. Expressing certain emotions was stupid and didn't make sense to them. So then it makes me bottle it up and I just keep things to myself. So I dealt with that alone. It sucked. Luckily, I have a strong dexterity and willpower in me that says
Right.
I'm going to overcome this shit.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, but it fucking sucked because I worked hard for this business and I'm not popular.
And it also boiled down somebody judging you off of
Hearsay.
Yeah.
Off of hearsay from another person that really doesn't know me very well.
No.
They just skimmed my social media and saw that I was with Brian at the time and was like, oh, he's a faggot. Fuck that.
I hate that word.
My religion says burn them. So,
But it doesn't.
look, girl, that's why I don't like the confliction, hypocriticalness of all this religion shit and stuff like. Because how you gonna have all these goddamn
Also-
messengers with these messages, but they all hate each other?
Also, the word. What did they have it in? So say in the Bible.
I have no
It's
idea.
under,
I don't know the Bible
homosexual.
very well.
It used to be. It was changed. I think they did some research. It was changed from pedophile.
Yeah. So why is
So
and that's another thing too. Why people got to change shit all the time. So that lets me know that this book is bullshit.
But put
in
it
my
like this:
opinion.
if Jesus were here today, and you went up and talked to Jesus, do you think he really be like, "I'm not giving my business to you because you're," like?
No.
Why can't we just be kind? Why can't we just be nice? Why? It just takes so much energy to be ugly
Yeah, you're right.
and hateful.
It
And
is.
then you feel bad about yourself. Like, what does it hurt you? Yeah, I say smaller people, but we're wearing masks now. So. But what does it hurt you? I mean, when I worked in customer service, the people that were nice to me, oh my God, my favorite was when I worked at the bank. I was a bank teller. And the little old ladies, I had one lady, I told her she had these beautiful turquoise earrings. They were huge. She made them herself. I was like, I love your earrings. Lit up her day. Her whole week, she came back, she made me some.
God damn.
And she was like, you made my day. And I still have those earrings. Like,
Wow.
what does it hurt? I mean, obviously, I didn't expect anything from her, but what does it hurt you? Just be nice.
Oh. Well, what do they say? You know what? What is it? Sugar attracts more flies than... No, honey attracts more
bees.
flies than
Wait.
shit.
No, not shit.
Yeah, honey attracts more flies than shit.
No, that's not. Definitely literally not.
Are you sure?
There's no shit in it. Honey, wait. No, you got me. Hold on. I think it's something with bees. And
Are we
honey.
delirious because we've been doing this for almost 5 hours?
I mean, it's all those extra shots in our espresso shots.
Yeah.
Honey attracts fly sting. But I know there's no shit. You can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar.
No, there's another one where it's a pile of shit.
Oh, I've never.
Well, because it's easy
Oh my
to.
God.
Well, because you see, that's easy to remember. You see a pile of shit. What do you see on top of it? All the little flies.
Oh my God. Honey attracts more flies than shit. That's my new saying. I don't know though, but do you
Yeah,
really
that makes
think-
sense to me. Why is that? Yeah, because
I've never
shit
seen
attracts
flies
flies.
be attracted to honey.
well, because I scoop dog shit every day in the
True.
backyard.
I was gonna say I've seen flies attracted to shit.
Yeah.
Fruit flies.
But sweetness, but it's
Yeah.
the whole idea of sugar, sweetness.
Right.
Because what do you put in those homemade fly traps? And I used to do it in the backyard
Yeah.
all the time. You would put a sugar water
Mhm.
thing, and like I'd cut a gallon.
Jay, I even get some hummingbirds.
But no, they can't fit in the little thing.
No.
But all the flies would go in
Yeah.
the little hole, and they wouldn't come back out because they'd be around the edge, and they'd be stuck, and then you didn't have a whole bucket full of dead flies.
Now we're talking about flies and shit.
See? Because of my
We go from-
analogy that you
we
didn't get.
We go from equality to flies and shit.
It's so easy to go to so many different subjects and topics here.
Oh my God.
But I'm glad you came, Candace. We
Me
got to do it
too.
again.
Yep.
Updates on all kinds of stuff when you change, when you do something new, when you got some new ideas or something that you want to share with people. Because I will say that there are people that watch the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
There really are,
Yeah.
because I'd see the correlation of the numbers of viewership.
Right.
Everything goes up on my channel when a podcast episode gets released.
Right.
Podcast always gets over 10,000 views.
And I already told a bunch of people I was coming today. So
Right.
my mom's like, how can I listen to it now? I was
Oh.
like, no,
Yeah.
you got to wait.
So I got a question though. What do you think people do more? We like to watch. I made that website, and it's part of the detailing
Right.
page as well. And it's, what do you think of that? Does that seem like it's pretty well put together? I don't know if you went to that or if I gave you the YouTube channel,
I
but
think I have the YouTube channel.
but the website, it shows like an audio box,
Uh-huh.
and then of course all videos of everything's on that page.
Right.
You just keep scrolling, you
I
see
haven't
everything.
seen that one.
So it's connected to the business page.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
I see the stats on the podcast page off
Right.
of just going from the website are in the hundreds.
Yeah.
So hundreds of people go to the podcast page, and I don't advertise
Mm-hmm.
anything. It's just organic flow.
And I have a lot of friends too, like especially when they're working, they're telling me how they listen to podcasts like all day.
Yeah. Well, I hope they enjoy this one.
Right.
All of
Agreed.
Candace's friends. I hope you do it. Maybe some of y'all will become my clients.
Shut up.
Maybe.
I was gonna say I can start talking to, because I know a lot of like small businesses and people.
Yeah. Well, that's
know?
it. And that's all a part of this too, is the whole networking thing.
Right.
You know, hopefully it helps both of us, you know.
I agree. I mean, also too, I have, all my followers and share it, and hopefully they enjoy it, and not just to get to know me a bit better, but like also get to know you, because I recommend you constantly.
Not just me, but they can watch and they can learn about other people in the area.
Right.
Other businesses, other people doing things. Because we're the voices that don't get heard.
Right. And I was about to say, if you're a little voice, reach out to Tim.
Yeah.
If you want to be heard, seriously.
This is what the podcast is for. It's for everybody. And I'm not charging you a dime. All I do is I edit it. I just hope you have a good time.
And he got cute puppies, so
yeah, she's
lot-
going to get to go see him now,
cute
though.
puppies.
So you have any last words for everybody? You have a final message, a weird
If you're
pun,
interested
a little...
in cakes and cookies, I have a Facebook page. I have a website. I have Instagram, Cakes and Cookies by Candace.
Is that for all social media? Cakes and Cookies by
Yes,
Candace?
Cakes and Cookies by Candace. Candace. Look me up.
She on TikTok too, y'all.
On TikTok, message me. That's the best way to message me on Facebook. Email me, cakesandcookiesbycandace@gmail.com. Questions can be easily answered. If I don't respond right away, an automatic message pops up on Facebook, and all that information's at hand. I have order forms for cakes and cookies, and just look the information. You're interested in a few things, I offer different flavors. Like, it's all on there. So don't be hesitant to reach out, basically.
And everybody that's watching this, if you like long form podcasts, if you think that this podcast was good, leave some feedbacks, leave comments, give me
Right.
suggestions. If you want to be a guest, the only thing I'm going to say is reach out. Goodbye, everybody.